Emergency. Queen's Quest arrived. Emergency. Queen's Quest arrived. Emergency. Queen's Quest
down to the queens.
Hello, ladies, gentlemen, and everybody inside and outside of the gender spectrum, and welcome back to Stardom Quest Gold, the best weekly Stardom and Marigold podcast anywhere in the world. I am, as always, Alex, and I'm joined by Dylan. Hi, Dylan.
Hi, Alex. Hi, everybody. How's it going?
Is that all?
I thought we could start a dialogue. Talk to each other like buddies.
No.
That was a genuine question. How you feeling? How you doing?
Good. The football season ended, so I have nothing to do for the weekends for the foreseeable future. So that's...
Oh yeah, me, Scott, and Xavi were complaining about the fantasy WNBA you got going on. Because what do you mean assists are worth 6? Like we were looking at the math and we were like, this is insane. Like
I put the scoring through a number generator, so it would be more fun. So rebounds, I think, are worth 3, maybe, and then assists and blocks are worth 6.
Hey, so, I'm cooking, bro. I got Angel Reese. She don't do nothing but rebound, and I'm I'm chilling. Like, you know what I mean? She's doing. In fact, my 2 favorite players are doing remarkably bad this year. So, like, that's saving me. I beat Xavi first week. That's saving me.
Oh, wow.
Because Carrington and Reese are both kind of terrible right now. They are not doing good. And Cameron Brink is still hurt, so she's on my IR. So yeah, but
yeah, she'll get you some though. She'll get blocks and shit.
Yeah, she should be back in a few weeks. Like June was her estimated date, so hopefully she's back soon.
Yes.
But yeah,
that's the fun. That's it made the draft interesting. We didn't just take book getters. I took the bigs who rebound and pass because I was like, that's what's gonna get points. So it's part of the fun.
I know my best performing player is someone I have never heard of from the Liberty. It's great.
Who?
Well, because I don't watch the Liberty, obviously. Because why would I watch?
I feel like I have an idea of who it is, but I cannot remember.
It's Natasha Cloud. She's
kind of
the
new guard. Yeah. She gets a lot of the ball. I have John Quell from that team, and she's kicking ass. So I beat Scott on the first week. Just
Stardom Quest on top, baby.
Yeah, damn right. So that's all the fun. That is our league.
Also, very very quickly, Doc drafting Caitlin Clark, having a bye week the first week, and she gets hurt the second that he gets on. He starts playing. Hilarious.
That is pain. Especially for me because I like the Fever. So I'm like, oh, there's the best player just like gone for 2 weeks. That's great. So yeah, my sports teams don't sound to do well. The Cavaliers absolutely flopped again, and now the Fever are mishmashed. So very fun time to be me with basketball, but that's all right. Head on over to the 5-star-network.com for all of the latest articles and podcasts from the wonderful world of pro wrestling. Heading over to the 5-Star Network YouTube channel, which is where this, as well as shows like Actress Stage and No Limit Wrestling, all go up. No Limit Wrestling will be coming at you soon. We've hyped it enough. I don't think we need to go over it again.
Yeah, so, two episodes eventually. You wrote for Voices of Wrestling. I know you always do for all the big shows, but yeah, go read his written review of the big show we're talking about today.
Yes,
I'm sure it was good. I didn't read it.
Whoa, that's crazy.
One time
I saw your tweet though. In fairness,
I wanted
on there.
I wanted to see if I wanted to be surprised when you disappoint me in one or two of your takes here.
Okay, that is valid. I also made my Body Slam debut to talk about Nanai.
I did read that. That was very good.
Yeah, Hard Editing asked me to do that because he was like, Nanai is my favorite wrestler ever, but I don't know enough to talk about her. So will you please do it? And I was like, sure, okay.
Yeah.
And I think it ended up pretty good. So yeah, if you want to honor Nanai, read that one, and then read the review if you don't get enough of us talking for 2 hours. So with that, let us get on to Marigold. I guess we'll just touch on it on Monday Magic. The Monday Magic started yesterday, and Mayu Iwatani and Kouki were on the debut episode. They beat Sadie Gibbs and the Great Sakuya. Mayu, Sadie minutes, everything I could have asked for.
Incredible.
Sadie Gibbs splitting herself open, doing a stupid dive to the outside. This is the realest shit ever. Get Sadie into one of the promotions I watch full time, please.
She's trying. Hilariously, she is politicking to get into Marigold, which
Rossi,
is
I don't
hilarious.
care what she did before.
Uh,
You know the money is there.
hey,
You've buried worse hatchets.
yeah, Mayu seemed impressed, and I mean, Mayu
Yeah,
was one of the people who were like, yeah, she kind of sucks. She's an asshole. So I mean, if Mayu's cool with it, shit, come on, Sadie, come on down. Um,
get it.
but there are so many deleted Mayu posts that tell you so much that nobody like that are lost to time now.
Yeah.
It's pretty incredible because that was like an Instagram post that lasted a day of hers being like, "I'm sick of these foreigners not coming in and refusing to play ball," and I was like, "I wonder who that's about."
Crazy.
But yeah, no, it was great. Not a great match, but it was great seeing Sadie and Mayu against each other. It was great
Hmm.
seeing Koki and Noah again. I love how much Noah fans love Joshi wrestling. I
Yes.
had a tweet kind of get some traction about how you watch this match and you watch any New Japan women's match and it's so night and day. Uh, just because like these fans care for Koki, they care for Mayu. You
Hmm.
know, they're interested in what the fuck the Great Sakuya is doing, and you know, they're Sadie's more of a like you could put her in New Japan and they would pop too because she's fucking psychotic. But you know, point being, I really appreciate what Noah's doing with their women's stuff, even if it is a bit uh not much because it's just on Monday Magic. But I quite like it.
Yeah, no, I think they treat it fairly well. I wonder if it's just the Monday Magic audience, though. They kind of maybe are
It
more
is
into
Monday
tapping into the
Magic.
Joshi stuff than normal.
Monday Magic is a lot more of a niche, like
Mm,
kind of audience, a very like people who love wrestling. Because like you look at that show, Marufuji versus Hikaru Sato is a match that would not work in most promotions,
yeah.
you know. But like it worked so crazy well, because it was Marufuji getting to do some like really cool, uh, you know, technical grapple stuff against one of the
Mm.
best, and it was like really awesome. Um, and they ate it up. Whereas like I don't think that would have gone over as well at like a big Noah mainline show. So it is definitely a Monday Magic thing, but I don't know. I like it.
Yeah.
Also, you'll
And
be happy. Uh,
it's
fucking Takumi, bro. She didn't even have to wrestle. Just her music hit, and she walks out in the big ass red jacket, and it's like there's a fucking like the temperature changed. You know, like the entire like vibe was just I was like,
mhm.
she is so back. She's the
We
most
have never
back
been more
wrestler of all time.
Yeah,
Like
if she dyes
like
the hair anytime soon, we're locked in. Like it's
I've
over.
always been obviously we'll talk about plenty of Takumi on the show, but like I've always been a Takumi like I've always liked her, especially as a tag wrestler, but like uh there's just something about her this year and just like, you know, recently that like you are affected by her presence. Like it's like really like, you know, she jumps off the screen big time. And I don't think it was shown any better anywhere than at Monday Magic when her music played and the entire crowd was like, "Oh boy." And like you just kind of feel it. It's just it was incredible.
Yeah, and
Aura.
Takumi set up the match with Koki for the GHC Women's Championship, which is happening next week on Monday Magic. So that's very interesting. Part of me thinks that they do just want to move that belt off Koki. I mean, she didn't look great in her comeback, and she
You
was
know what
okay
I
in the tag. But I think maybe they want to move the belt on to Takumi and do a belt collector thing, or they're gonna go to like a disqualification because Magenta beats them up, and then they have to team against Magenta, which would kind of suck. But I wouldn't put it
yeah,
past
I'm
them.
not sure. I wouldn't be surprised. Uh and it would make sense because it's a hard politically it's a hard belt to kind of deal with. Um, but yeah, I'm a bit worried about that match, obviously,
Mhm,
because I thought Koki did very well in the Monday Magic tag, not so well on the tag before it, but that well I think we can dissect a bit more. Wasn't fully like, oh, she sucks, she's never gonna get it back. It was more I think it was just all worst case scenario for her. But a big singles against Takumi, a week after she comes back is a bit concerning. Um,
mhm,
but I'm excited to see what happens. I also would say people won't like this, but there is a non-zero chance that Koki was meant to be kind of like positioning towards beating Mai for the white belt if she hadn't gotten hurt, like dropping the GHC like a month ago,
mm,
um, or even just like at Shine Forever, and then in the next few months was supposed to be building up to get to the white belt. Um, and either they're fast tracking that or they're not. But either way, I feel like the GHC should probably come off of her soon. Whether they want to take it off her so she can get another belt or not, I don't know if that's the right idea. But we'll see with that. But yeah, I expect her to kind of to either lose it to Takumi or lose it within this stretch of Monday Magic.
yeah,
Um,
for sure.
Also, two women's matches on Monday Magic next week because Mayu was announced officially for next week's Monday Magic as well. So
That
she'll
is
be
cool.
on.
We'll talk about both of them next Tuesday, and hopefully we'll talk about a new GHC Women's Champion. Beyond that, then I don't think there's any Marigold news that we won't touch on during the review. So I think we can just get into the show, which was Marigold Shine Forever, a glorious celebration on the 24th of May. This did 2,450 fans at the Yogi National Gymnasium, number two. I think that's an excellent number. Like
Is it
I wasn't even
2,400
expecting
or 2,400?
2,400.
Yeah, that is really
Um,
good.
I wasn't even expecting 2,000. Like I remember seeing the seats that they'd sold and thought maybe you'll get like
I
1,800
was
ish.
expecting 1,800. I thought anything
Yeah,
over 1,800 would be solid. And yeah, they kind of killed
they
it.
absolutely smashed it. So that's what their second biggest show ever.
Yep.
So pretty big success for all things considered. Now, obviously, you do have the Nanai Takahashi retirement bump, but you have to wonder how much that really drove people to go to the show, and she's been around for a long time. And her main events in Seedling weren't doing like 1,000 plus, so I don't know if there's a
To be
huge
fair,
audience
we
just for the night.
there is a conversation to be had that the past 2 years specifically have like rehabbed her as
Yeah,
a top
true.
star. Um, she was drawing fairly well, not super well, obviously, but like her Korakuen main events and whatnot last year, obviously not as good as her retirement, but weren't like actively abysmal.
Mm,
It's not like she was a negative draw by any means, and the retirement's always going to get a bump. Uh, so I think like while I agree that you can't fully credit Nanai with this, and there has to be some level of conversation about just Marigold being hotter than maybe some people may think, especially with Mayu in now. I do
mm,
think that Nanai there was definitely Nanai definitely moved the needle as well.
yeah. All right. We opened the show then with Mai Sakurai beating Shinno in 12 and a half minutes. Pretty much everybody has said it by now. Shinno, one of the most impressive debuts in a long time.
Mm.
I have never seen anybody grasp everything quite this quickly. Like even her entrance, she timed her pose with this like glass tinkling in her theme, which is already enough to make me go, "This is a future legend." But then, like throughout the match, it wasn't just that she tossed my Sakurai on her head straight away. It was that she just tossed her on the head and then went, "Okay, get the crowd fired up, get the crowd behind
Yeah.
me after the big move." And she kind of did that a lot, where she very much would play to the crowd at the right moments. And that's obviously very, very hard to teach, but she got that instantly. And then her in ring work on top of that was just exceptional. I mean, the kicks obviously were the kicks, but she had a lot more to her arsenal than just that. And I think that exploder suplex was nuts and is a
Oh,
move
the
that
Uranagi
I,
or the
yeah,
yeah.
both. But
Yeah,
like
that was
all
good.
of it, all of her offense is crazy good, and she hits it really well. She's just such a natural.
It's so like I don't know how much of it was just Sunny being a nerd and how much of it is Shino being a nerd. But Sunny was noting on commentary, and I know a lot of people don't like Sunny's commentary. I think he does all right. Um, he's knowledgeable, which is the only thing that really matters to me.
I think you
Sometimes,
can tell he loves Marigold more than he likes
yeah,
Bushiroad at Stardom, so he's like very into it.
yeah, that's what I mean. So it's like I don't think he's a particularly skilled commentator by any means. But and sometimes he talks too much, and sometimes Stu
Mm.
talks too much. I do think Stu's a really good commentator, but so I don't mind the English commentary, but he was kind of mentioning that like Shino, it was beyond just like the big moves, the kicks, and the Uranagi, which was obviously her mom's move. She's now the fifth women's wrestler to be passed on to be given the Uranagi, which is a huge deal. Uh, Sonny was mentioning that it's like she's doing the Scorpion Deathlock Chigusa style, arm up and
Mm.
everything. Like, and he was like, did you notice that? And then she hit like a big draping lariat, and he was like, that's like Jaguar Jackie Sato style. Fucking, I was like, are you trying? Like,
This man name
is
dropped
this? Is it
Jackie Sato. That's
actually
iconic.
like, yeah, or maybe he just said Jaguar, but like, it is a bit more Jackie Sato. But still, uh, that era. I'm just like, are you just saying this because like you want to be like, yeah, I know my history, or is this like Shino was watching 80s tapes? Because if she was, shit, that's real. You know what I mean? Like,
Hmm.
but point being, I just thought that a lot of what she did was really cemented in, like, it was intrinsically pro wrestling, and I think that's where you probably like this more than the Sari debut. I still like the Sari debut more, but just because stylistically, Sari and Mirai doing graps, that's my shit. I like it. I like that's my jam. Um, but I think this, like, as a you could tell that Shino is a second generation wrestler and that she has
Hmm.
been paying attention to pro wrestling since she was, 2. Um, because there is something just kind of intrinsic about it. And the fan appeals for sure, like you said, kind of like playing to the crowd was noticeable. Um, and yeah, I just thought she did a great job. Like I said, I prefer the Sari match still, the Sari debut match because it's more akin to my taste. Um, And I just think Mirai's a better wrestler than my Sakurai. As much as I love Mai, I think Mirai is more adept at doing a debut match than Mai. Uh, but I thought that they both did great. Shino bleeding in her first match was fucking like perfect. Like
Hmm.
it just works, and it made her look like $1,000,000, and it was a really really good match. I quite liked it. It was also
Yeah,
nice that Michiko was able to commentate over it
yeah,
and
she
was
was
crying
very
throughout the game.
emotional,
Yeah.
very emotional. Um, a lot, I think a lot of credit goes to Mai Sakurai. There's not a lot
Oh,
of
definitely.
top champions who would sell for a 16-year-old, but she went out there and really let make herself a star. And I think Mai deserves a lot of credit for that. And like I kind of said last week, she's very easy to plug yourself into how Mai Sakurai wrestles. That's the Tam Nakano of it all. Like
Mm,
Tam would give you a lot of room to show yourself off. I think it's why Saya got over initially by wrestling Tam for the white belt. I think Mai Sakurai is very similar to that, where she does her shit and she has her match, but you have a lot of room to plug yourself in and make the best of it. And I think Shino took full advantage of that and had just one of the most impressive debuts I've seen in a long time.
mm.
Which is saying a lot because we had two really strong debuts from Stardom. Like for a while there, it was almost like we were going to talk about Furusawa and Emma, and not this. And then Shino just went, "Nah, I am the Super Rookie 2.0. Pay attention." But yeah, this was a great way to kick off the show. A lot of energy for this one, and Shino is such a monster. It's kind of a shame she's going to be part time for the next 2 years. You kind of have to wait really to go all in on
Yeah.
her, but I think that does give them time to get their ducks in order. And if in 2 years' time she goes like full time and you have Sari built up as maybe your world champion or something, you have a very easy match to do there with Shino versus Sari as the super rookies going against one another. So I think there's some cool stuff that you can do in 2 years' time with her. And you have 2 years to kind of paper over the cracks that she might still have and just turn her into an absolute monster who you can pull the
I
trigger on straight away.
yeah, I mean, I expect, Shino to kinda be, um, like Momo. Momo Watanabe, in that like Momo was Wonder Champion in her senior year of high school. You know what I mean? Not waiting too long, but also waiting long enough to where it's like she'll be more consistent and full time.
Yeah.
But I can 100% see her getting the natty or even the superfly. Like I could see her getting the superfly before she graduates, depending on how her schedule looks moving forward. Like, like, because obviously, not to get too like semantics of it all, but um, school schedules are kind of, they differ depending on the person. If you look at Rena, she worked. I mean, no, look at like, like half of them. Azumi, she was wrestling pretty much full time from the age of 15. Obviously, Shino isn't going to do that, but uh, as time goes on, if she is able to pick up more dates in general, I wouldn't be surprised if she got the Superfly belt within a year or two,
Yeah.
because you know she she's clearly has the utmost potential. So I
Mhm.
wouldn't be surprised if Ross is just like, you know what, let's just go with it. Like let's do what we can here, um, because she's great, and
She
we've
is.
only seen one match from her.
Yes.
I'm also happy
Um.
that she's doing this tour upcoming, because like I was worried that
Yeah.
like
Oh yeah.
she was gonna do this match then be gone until uh what, like summer, like for another month or two, and then do a boat, a tour of matches. But luckily she's on the next tour, team with
Yep.
Sari. We'll talk about that
That she
later.
is. That's gonna be fun. We then went on to Chiaki, Megaton, Misa Matsui, and Nagisa Nozaki beating Chanyota, Arini Yamanaka, Nagisa Tachibana, and Ryoko Sakamura in just under 10 minutes. Misa Matsui got the win for her team over Ryoko. It was a fine match. It was kind of just Darkness Revolution getting to go out there and do their thing. They did like a miscommunication with Megaton and Matsui, which didn't end up mattering because they won
I just
regardless.
kind of find that funny, because it wasn't like a miscommunication that mattered. It was just a miscommunication that Misu was just like, "What the fuck is wrong with you?
Mhm.
Stop, stop! I hate
Um,
you," and then moved back to her match. Just kept,
she did.
kept going.
It
Oh,
kind
that
of
was
set
really
up
funny.
that they've kind of split from Megaton partially. Like they all
Mm,
kind of posed and were like, "Go away, we don't want you."
yeah.
And she's not teaming with them on the upcoming tours. She's in singles. So very interested to see how that goes. But that was really the only highlight of this match. It was
I
like
thought Misa did
fine.
well.
Well, yeah, she's Misa Matsui. But
Like
like
I
everything
think
else was like
that
a
was
shrug.
that was kind of what I noted, outside of Chan Yoda still being cool.
Hmm.
Shocker. I thought that Misa Matsui really is the type that will uh wrestle in a match that doesn't matter and should be bad, and make it kind of good. Uh, Not that this was supposed to be bad. Like,
It was fine.
the, yeah, the workers they're fine. They're competent for the most part. But Misa Matsui kind of shined, and I understand why now, because she is psycho speed running her way into a 0-10 record in title matches. Um, but I mean, like, hey, so I get why she kind of she gave it a little bit more effort. She's on a
Yeah.
big stage. She knows what's happening later. Let's get my shit in a little bit type thing.
All right. That's all for that. Unless you have anything
Mhm.
more.
No, I hope they don't
No.
fully split Megaton. I was expecting Megaton to get the win here, because that was kind of what they were building it around. Was Megaton, you need to,
You
you
have
can't
too
lose.
much
You gotta
faith.
win. You gotta pull your weight type of thing. And she did not. So I'm worried. I don't want Megaton to be strictly a tag wrestler, or strictly a singles wrestler in the opening. That sounds bad, but we'll see.
Yes. Our next match was the return of Kouki Amarei. She teamed with Kazuna Tanaka to beat Chikagoto and Yuki Minami in 9 minutes. I think this was the weakest match of the show.
Mm.
It just didn't really work. And to me, building a match around Koki and Chika is not good enough when they clearly have very little chemistry. The way they work doesn't suit the other. And I really think you needed somebody to build this match around who could either force Chica to like sell and play the underdog, or to boot Koki in the face back.
Mm.
And Koki didn't look great either. I don't. I think they rushed her back too quick from this injury. She doesn't look very mobile, and it's not like she was the most phenomenal athlete beforehand. Um, so yeah, I think this just really needed to. I was kind of baffled. Like you could have moved some people out of the Marvelous Gauntlet and put them here to help, and you would have had a fine card. But as it was, I think this was a real letdown, and I would just keep Kouki and Chica as far away from each other as possible forever.
Yeah, I mean, I think they work as a tag team. I don't think they really work as rivals, unfortunately. Um,
Because their match in
and I
January was not good before the ACL tear. It
But the
was
thing
like
is that their
bang
match in the
average.
Dreamstar last year was good. Like, that was a good match. Um, so it's like it's not like they're incapable of having good matches against each other.
Mm,
It's just it just isn't natural. Like it doesn't come
yeah,
naturally to them as a pairing. I thought Kazuna did really good here. She usually does. Yuki Minami also did pretty good. But
yeah,
yeah, I mean, I didn't think the match was actively bad. I think it was just like it wasn't good. It was below average for sure.
yeah.
Um, I appreciated what Chikugoto was going for, but I questioned the decision generally of like the match in general because like as much as it's funny, you watch the Easy Gen video of Rossi and Utami uh, at Gochika's restaurant, her family restaurant, and Gochika was asked, it's like, oh well, since you're here, um, how do you feel about Koki coming back? And she's like, I'm going to re-injure her knee, and like that was it. So it's like the point of what she was doing in this match made sense, and I found it kind of funny because she was just like very matter of fact. It's like, no, I'm gonna re-tear that ACL because I
Mhm.
hate her. Like I think that's like a funny, like a crazy way to go about it. But I think in practice it didn't work here, especially um, given this was just kind of set to be like, oh, Koki's back, cool. Like it didn't give her any shine. Um, it just kind of like Gochiko did good techers, I guess, but like
Mm,
nobody
they're
cared.
alright. No,
Yeah, like they were fine, like, but that wasn't the point. So this is a poor decision generally for Koki's comeback, I think, in hindsight. Uh, yeah, it is what it is. I didn't think I didn't think like I thought, like I said, I thought Kazuna did well. Yuki did fine for what she did, and Gochika, tried something interesting, but I just don't think it worked
no.
for what it was at all.
It was a swing and a miss, and Koki messed up her own finisher
Yeah,
too. She like
yeah.
hit Minami in the face.
She.
It was,
I'm
what are
surprised
we doing?
Yuki's not her fucking nose isn't broken, frankly,
Yeah,
'cause that looked tough. But also like that's just kind of the nature of that finish. She always is like a half inch away from doing exactly that.
yeah. She probably
So it's
shouldn't
like,
do it because I saw Starlight Kid do it, and I was like, that is so effortless. Like that is it is that easy,
well, see,
and Koki just
Koki
makes it look
Koki has
so
this
bad.
problem. Well, Koki did start doing the jumping boot, like that was her finish for a
Mm,
while. Um, but the problem with Koki is that she's big, like she's tall, but she's not that powerful.
no,
Um, but she is like graceful, kind of agile, kinda. Maybe not as much now, but she is like kind of like has like the more dancer, like the leaping ability sort of
mm,
thing. Um, so she kind of goes with that more, but she is still very tall. Like she's this isn't me being weird. She's a lot bigger than Yuki Minami. So you kill her when you fuck that up. Like, you know what I mean? Like
yes,
it's like if Starlight Kid accidentally like lands wrong on you, it's like, yeah, it could fuck you up if something. But Starlight Kid's like 4'10, you know what I mean? Like
yeah,
you'll be fine probably. Knock on wood. Koki, it's a bit more damning when it's just like kind of off.
mm.
So it's just kind of like a hard thing. I don't know. I've seen a lot of people kind of like throw in the towel with Koki already, and I'm just like, I think there's still stuff here.
Kind of.
Like
It's just not. It's just the wrong company. I feel like you can't
I
have
don't think
many
so.
swing and misses in Marigold when you are underutilizing so many people. I don't think you can have Koki miss when she's clearly a project, and that's partially why people are so hard on her. Um,
I don't know if I agree with that.
I don't, but like
Like
think about it. If this was Stardom, we'd all just shrug our shoulders and go, "Yeah, she's not working. It's fine. They've got Starlight Kid and Sayaka Batani and Hazuki and Meisera and Azumi and a bunch of other people." But in Marigold, you're like, "Oh, Koki's not working and she's getting pushed ahead of Naoshikawa and Naho Yamada when she was healthy and
See,
Arina Yamanaka and
but that's what I
Nagisa
don't.
Tajihana and Chiaki, and it's like, okay, sure.
But I don't think that she's that much of a failure to the point. And also, I disagree
Yeah.
with your sentiment on like. I guess it's just a matter of like goodwill, which is interesting, and not a conversation I really want to dive into right now. But I don't know. I think I am more okay with the Koki project, and that being at the expense of certain wrestlers because they view her as someone that can be truly great, and like a needle mover, so to speak. Uh, I'm more okay with that than I am with a lot of other decisions, and I done by Marigold and by Storm, so I don't get immediate like the immediate hand wave coming off an injury. Like I think that's a bit
Well, she
unfair.
wasn't that good before it. That's her problem.
See, but that's the thing. She was like she was
She
figuring
could
it
do
the
one
fuck
thing.
out.
She could do one thing, and
I,
then she
I
wrestled a
think.
match with Chikugoda without that one thing, and they misfired. And I
See,
think
I
she's
think I think
really still
I
stuck with that.
I remember a very different Dreamstar and post Dreamstar than pretty much everybody else. Like she
No,
was
I was
a
there, but all she could do
genuine,
was boot.
but that's not
Like,
true
you
because
had to put her with main
she
eventers
had
and
the
let her big
Utami
boot.
tag.
Yeah, put her with main eventers and let her big boot. That was largely it. I feel
I
like
don't.
she's gotten the same treatment almost as Hanako, who was paired up with a main eventer and given the shine, and that I was critical of, and I would be critical of Koki for the same reason. Of you put her with a main eventer and gave her the world, and it hasn't worked, and other people could have got that spot. I just think it's bigger. It looks worse on Marigold because they don't have as many spots to go around as Stardom. So
I mean, I guess I don't know. I think I see more on Koki than most people do, and that's fine. Like
see,
that's just a difference.
I was big on Koki in actress. I've not as high on her in Marigold, and I haven't been because they turned her from like interesting drag idol into tall pretty lady, and that's much less interesting to me. I think the hype around Koki came from her being something else
Or being
and being
androgynous.
Utami
I To be fair, I
kind of,
think I
but
think
I don't know.
so much of that ultimately came from her transitioning from being a actress who does this kind of stage wrestling thing, and because as an actress, she was quite literally a
Yes, she was a
non-binary
drag
actress.
idol. Yes.
She's
So
a non-binary actress. That was her role, uh in plays and stage plays that are done by all women, she would play the man.
mhm.
Um so like and that was like what she was like that was her niche. And so since she has kind of moved away from being like having the stage actress aspect of herself being well, like that's just what she is as a wrestler. Like it's the same. It's one and the same. They are not separated at all. To being a pro wrestler and a stage actress, they're not separated. Uh, I can see where you would be like, well, the stage actress stuff that you were doing that kind of have done for years and was kind of your niche. You separating that makes it a little bit less interesting. So I get that. But as someone who didn't see her an actress, like who just kind of heard the hype around her and was disappointed early on, I feel like you kind of had to rebuild at some point.
I
And
don't know.
she had to as and also I rewatched Fields Forever. Obviously, I made a music video for it the other day, and I watched her there, and I still see some of the actress stuff that you are talking about. Obviously, she pretty much she changed. She was shifting already by the time
Mhm.
she made her debut in Marigold. But I saw that, and I saw her and Chikugoto in general on that show, and it's like they are actresses who are wrestling, and I think Chikugoto has become a wrestler who's also a model and or a former actress too.
Yeah.
I guess I don't think she acts anymore. Um, and I think Koki, if she didn't get hurt, would probably be in a similar camp. I think that I think this injury could fuck her up long term. It could be like really what stunts her growth because obviously we've seen Chikugoto have incredible growth since Koki got hurt and in the months beforehand. But I can't say that like I'm like disappointed in them for taking this project on because I think there is a certain level of aura to Koki. I rolled my eyes while
Mm,
saying that. I couldn't
yeah,
think of a
you
different
should have.
word.
I don't know. I don't get it. I don't see it anymore. But we shall see. We'll see how she works. We then went on to a 10-woman elimination tag. Team Marigold of Hummingbird, Komo Minami, Naoshikawa, Natsumi Shizuki, and Rei Seto beat Team Marvelous of Ai Hozan, Maria, Riko Kawahata, Senka Akatsuki, and Sora Ayame in 19 and a half minutes. The fall came down to Rhea and Ai Hozan as the final two, which I'll get onto in a bit. Kind of the main stuff I would say is that Magenta already looked a lot better as heels.
Yeah.
Definitely looked a lot more settled in the role and managed to kind of work it in with their teammates a lot better. They gave Senka a pin, which I think is a big deal. She got the pin over Komo Minami. Um, and otherwise, I think there wasn't much to take away. I know Hummingbird did stuff for once. She like yelled, and I was like, "Holy shit, where's this coming
Hummingbird,
from?"
cool. She's
She
she's
is, yeah.
she's on the come up.
But I did love that it came down to Rhea and Ihozan because that's one of those literally any result could happen here, and they kind of played into that with a lot of the flash pinfalls and like the
Yeah.
very edge of your seat stuff. So I thought this was a really good match, and I thought the decision to end it with Rhea and I was very smart.
Yeah, Rhea is awesome. I thought before I get to kind of Rhea and whatnot, I thought Shizuki did really good. She was just really bullying the fuck out of Sora Ayame. I thought that
Mm,
was really awesome. And Ihozan, I believe she was bullying the younger runs. Like I think
yeah.
she really hits a groove when she just gets to kind of be a bully who just beats the fuck out of you. It's a lot of fun. And yeah, I mean, Komomo didn't get much time in there, but I also thought she did good. Hummingbird did good. Now Shikawa, I don't remember much of in the match, frankly.
She got a pinfall,
Yes, she did.
surprisingly. That was kind of it.
But yeah, and then I know that she went out with Magenta and
Magenta,
Shizuki,
yeah.
and that was the thing. But yeah, the big thing was Rei Seto. I think that this project, obviously on a much smaller scale than the Koki project, but this similar, project of let's push Rei Seto to be, to her limit to see what she can do here. Um, I've really enjoyed it. Like, I still think to the Yuzuki match that was really great.
Mhm.
Um, it was just another level of that, but she actually got to win, which was even better. I thought that she did such a great job, and she usually does a great job. Her and Aya Hozan kind of clicked pretty immediately. And there's a guyism lore to that. Obviously not during the guyism era; it was after it. But
Yeah.
like there is a certain Rhea Seto is going to click with these marvelous wrestlers because it's all the same. It's a lot of the same foundational
Yeah.
training stuff, so it's going to click a bit more. But I thought her and Ihozan did such great work. Uh, Seto stealing from two of the best New Japan wrestlers in her finishes is awesome. She took the headhunter from Yoshihashi and took the deadbolt from Yu Yu Uemura. Shouts out, big fan. I thought the match was a lot of fun, a bit long. When I heard it was an elimination match, I was
Mhm.
like, oh, ooh,
Yeah.
that's gonna be middle of the car that separating the bottom half from the top half. That's gonna be a hard spot. So I was kind of surprised that it worked as well as it did. Probably could have shaved off a couple minutes still, but
Mhm.
I get it. Uh, you need to give everybody their time to shine to some degree. So I wasn't opposed, but yeah, really good stuff. I liked it.
What I liked afterwards is that Magenta were seen talking to Mio Momono, and they were pointing, they were gesturing, as almost as if to say, "What are we supposed to do with this? Look at what the kind of shit you have us teaming with." So I think they are setting up Mio Momono coming in and joining the fight soon. So very
You
interested
know,
in that.
Mio Momono in relation to Magenta's heel turn is very interesting because she's kind of on their side. Like she hasn't turned heel yet, obviously, and she hasn't joined. She hasn't drawn a line in the sand. But like, it seems like the only marvelous wrestler that Magenta still likes is Mio Momono, And Mio Momono doesn't have beef with Magenta, unlike the rest of Marvelous. So I think that's an interesting element that we'll see moving forward. I do expect Mio Momono to join in on the fight coming up soon. I expect her to kind of my thought process was that she would come back on the 10th of June for Marvelous, but there hasn't been an announcement of that yet, so we will see if that still is likely. Obviously that's only a couple weeks away. Um, but yeah, I'm really excited to kind of see Mio Momono mix it up with them. Also, I kind of expect Shozuki and Now to challenge them, maybe, or anybody from this team to challenge them. I don't know. For the first time in a long time, I feel like I don't know what's going on with the tag belts yet, so we will see what's going on there. But yeah, I'm excited for Mio to show up. Maybe be the third man that I've been alluding to.
Whoa,
Probably not. She shouldn't
nice.
be. That would make no sense. But it wouldn't not
It
make
would
sense, but it would be a
definitely
bad
hurt
decision.
Marvelous. If their upper
Yeah,
card was just Takumi and three heels.
correct.
Not sure how that would
Also,
work.
they could just maybe if they really want to make room for Senka, shit,
I don't
Senka
think
becomes the
Nagayo.
number
I
two
don't think
babyface in the
is ready
company.
for that. Even Nagayo doesn't work that fast.
I know, I
Even
know.
on her best
True.
day. Um, yeah, that was a fun match, and we got into this part 2 of Marvelous versus Marigold when Takumi Iroha beat Seri Yamaoka in 12 minutes. Now, this might be controversial.
Mm,
I believe Seri Yamaoka has been horribly misprofiled.
mm,
She is such a good seller.
mhm.
I need her to get her ass beat in every single match. She
She does.
is
She gets her ass
awesome.
beaten most of her matches.
No, but not like this. She is awesome at
Well,
just
okay,
fighting bullies from
that's a
underneath.
Takumi thing. No, because
But
like
like,
if you like I mean, her best performances have seen her get fucking annihilated.
yeah, but she
Uh,
gets a lot of offense, and I think her not getting offense and having to get really creative with it, it's very interesting because especially because she sells really well.
you want her to be more like the bird.
Yes, just a little bit, but more offense. But I do think her just how she wrestles fits kind of being a bit of a spry underdog almost. And I just think she's very interesting in this spot.
I
Um,
could see a future, maybe not future, because she will start like what you're suggesting will only work for like the next 6 months because she will become a top dog beyond then. Um, but I could definitely see her be like a great counterattacker type of wrestler. Um, because she does kind of have that like that explosiveness, but like I don't need to see her with too much control. Like I want to see her off the rebound hitting that crazy drop kick and hitting that crazy spear and getting that house of fire, kind of comeback. Uh and I don't think we got to see that in the Nanai tag run because Nanai was the hot tag, right? And I think Sari can be an awesome hot tag just as much as she's an awesome person to get beat up. Like I think Sari is like she's two halves of a tag team in the way that it's like she can get beat up, but I also want to see her mount that crazy comeback that's like high energy and maybe not doesn't last too long, but like, just really like coming back at you. I kind of mix up two different ideas there of the counterattacker and the hot tag type thing, but I digress. I definitely see what you mean. Because I thought that she did a great job here of just really going through it, and handling the pressure sort of thing. And I think that is what kind of sold the tag run with her and I was her really getting beat up in a lot of those matches.
I did like what she did with her hair. I think the
Mhm.
black dye and the shorter length is very good. She got this like boyish charm to her with
Love
it.
boyish
That
haircuts. I'm a fan.
yes,
I like
yeah,
them.
it's
I think they
very
work
prime AJW was built on boyish haircuts. Bring them back, and it worked a lot for Seri. But I do think
with the
Takumi
hat.
was really yes. Honestly, it's perfect. But I do think Takumi was the star of the show here.
Yeah.
I've long thought Takumi is at her best when she is just an absolute bully. I think we've seen that for most of the year. Anytime she's in there with Marigold, she just disrespects the shit out of them, and it is insane. The way she would just like, she can kick you, and then she's gonna tie you up and out into a pretzel. Like some of her submissions here were just nasty. and she was taking great pleasure in making sure Sari was in pain. It was just a fantastic, dominant performance from Takumi that really made her feel like an absolute god. She just feels like she could take on anyone on this roster. And what was the best was when she won the match and she got out and she just stared at the seconds. I was like, who wants them? I'll beat
Bro,
you all. Who
bro,
wants them?
she hit Sari with a nasty ass trauma. Love that move, by the way. Great move. Shout out Ada. She beat her with the trauma, got out of the ring, like pushed the Marvelous seconds, be like, "You guys suck. Why couldn't you fucking win? I've won easy." And then looking at the Marigold seconds, just like, that's tough. Looking at the bird, like,
Yeah.
you suck.
So you want them?
It's just how it is. It's how it is. And like just kind of like I said earlier to start the show, Takumi just has a certain like a legitimate aura to her that is unlike any other. And it's been a while since I felt so like that. Like I felt like that was such a. In fact, this is probably the first time for me that I felt that on such a strong level because like when I first started watching Takumi, it was with the Mayu feud, and it's like I didn't really get it until she was fucking killer, and it was awesome, and I was like, yeah, this is a new wrestler I really like now. Um, but after like having now known Takumi and seen Takumi for several years, and to see her kind of like to see her and know her as this like phenom is so cool. Like I like it's a real return to form for her. And I thought this match was really really good. Um, and she's something different. You could kind of tell she pulled like I said, she pulled out the trauma. She didn't even hit the running three. She's kind of really like was big dicking her effectively. You could tell she's challenging for a belt after this. Like
Yeah.
I pretty much immediately was like, okay, she's
And
challenging
she should win.
Mai or she's challenging Utami, and they picked Utami, and we'll see how that goes. But I wouldn't be opposed to her winning. I think it would probably make a lot of sense. The GHC kind of gets in the way, but we'll see.
Belt collector. Just let her do it. But yeah, no, this match was great, and fair play to Sari. I think she is willing to take her licks. She obviously lost to Mirai on her first big show. She lost to Takumi here on her second big show. She doesn't seem too afraid to kind of lose up almost, where she just kind of gets beat but shows enough heart that she stays in
She
it.
lost
And
to Rico a couple weeks ago.
yeah, but they
Um,
cheated, so
no, I know.
it was kind of different.
Another thing I really appreciated about Takumi, and it's just really, really like just knowing wrestling. Um, After the match in the backstage comments, she was like, "I respect Sari for targeting my leg. Like, I respect her for knowing well enough to target my leg. The problem is everybody that's good targets my leg, and I'm still better." And I was like, "That's so fucking badass. You're right. You're right."
You know,
She's like
Takumi.
everybody who's smart still tries to attack my leg, and I am still better than them. It's like that's the realist.
She reminds me a lot currently of that like year two of Gaia, Chigusa Nagaya, where she would just
Mm.
maul her own rookies in like 90 seconds and be like, "What of it? What about
Dude,
it?"
she wore that black and gold gear way too early in her career.
Yes.
Because now is when she needs to wear that black and gold gear.
Hmm.
Like now is time for the Chigusa gear. Not back then. She was good. The Regina D Wave run and whatnot. That was all good. But now is when she is crushed 2000s.
She is. She's really following that Nagayo career path. But that was a great match, great use of our time, and a win for the Marvelous team to get theirs back after Rhea beat Ai Hozan. And then we got on to the Marigold Superfly Championship. Mayu Iwatani beat Victoria Yuzuki in 10 minutes to win the title.
It was just under 10
Mayu
minutes, wasn't it? It was
just
less
under
on.
9:58
Yeah.
exactly. Mayu retained the big match theme. They
Yes.
remixed it. Obviously, it's like
No,
slightly
I
different,
don't
but
even know
it's
if
still the
it's
same.
remixed. It sounded
It
exact
is
like
slightly different. I think down the stretch, the tempo is
okay,
different.
because the Savior is like noticeably remixed, like, and
Yeah,
it's not bad, but it is noticeably remixed. This just sounded one for one, and I
it
was like, oh
does.
shit. Um,
There's very few
yeah.
wrestlers who I would condone just fully taking their Stardom presentation over to Marigold, But Mayu, I think, is the one that you should like. You
It
shouldn't
was a
change
it
anything
was a
about
bit
her.
jarring. The I think the Nanai match when she came out wearing her Stars gear, like the gear
Yeah,
with all of Stars' colors on it, and just straight up wearing, her music, everything, all the presentation. I was expecting a little different, just like
yeah,
changing something up. But then, yeah, by this match and show, I was like, no, it's Mayu.
yeah.
That's not a Stardom thing. That's a Mayu thing. We can't.
Mayu Iwatani.
There's no point in changing it. It works.
Hmm.
Um, as for Yuzuki, she decided to change it. She
Oh
decided,
dear God.
dude, I've been saying this, like, hair's bad. It's
Yeah.
it's nearly
Here's how
reprehensible.
you
I mean,
know it's bad. I
Rossi
saw
was
it.
making fun of her. Like,
Yeah. Yes. Like though it's the way her forehead is plastered back that you know something is off. Like that is
no,
fully
the
cultural appropriated right
no,
there.
the thing is that I was like, like, this could be a lot worse if I didn't kind of just be like, you know what, Yuzuki, you like, it's just, yeah, I don't know, like it such stupid hair.
It looked like
Oh my
something
god.
Nikki Lyons would have. Like, I would fully
Yeah.
expect Nikki Lyons to
No,
rock
that's
that.
that's what I mean. I was like, why do I feel less like, to be fair, I have come to terms with cultural appropriation in general.
Mhm.
I think if I'm being fucking frank, cultural appropriators got hands. Like, I'm gonna be real. My
Yes.
favorite K-pop group, full of cultural appropriation. It's
Yeah.
pretty much just cultural appropriation. It's kind of unfortunate, but it's good music. They're good dance. Like, I don't like I'm kind of just like, okay, yeah, I can't fight this. But man, and like I thought Yuzuki, like for her for to give her some credit, she made it work better than most people could,
No, I
most
don't think
Japanese
so.
people could,
I
most
think it was
non-black people could.
awful. And she looked scary. Like her forehead was plastered back.
I mean,
Like,
like I said, Rossi was calling her
uh,
the Cupid male baby,
it's
Cupid
crazy.
baby, and I was like, yeah, yeah, no, that's, yeah, with the little, yeah.
Her hair is gonna be so
Why?
bad when she takes all that out. Like I
No,
feel the
like,
pain
well,
myself.
yeah, it'll be very curly. Like, that's the funny thing. Like, all these wrestlers who wear the braids, they take them out and they have like curled hair, like, like kind of like frizzy curled hair, and I'm just like, that's a good look.
Mm,
Why do you go back to the braids the next day? It's not. It doesn't look. Stop, please. Like, I mean, remember Julia when she finally, after I forget what run, like took out the braids, and she's had like the cute short hair. I was like, just just do that.
mhm.
Just it's a better, whatever. That's enough about the hair.
Anyway, the match was great.
Match was great.
Uh,
Yeah,
Dumb jock wrestling, but women, basically. This is the kind
that's
of
why
match that
Sadie.
like
That's why Sadie Gibbs works with Mayu so well.
yes. Yeah, they literally just said we're gonna do flips and like head bumps, and that was it. And it was really, really fun.
Yeah,
And
Yuzuki smacked her face on the ringside at
she
ringside.
did.
Did a
Like
big big
they
dive.
were gonna die, and that was it. They just made sure.
Mm,
And like I did like the little thing of Mayu being like, you're just a copycat. You keep stealing my moves, and then winning with Yuzuki's Moonsault Symphony. That was
yeah.
fantastic. But it was definitely fun just to be like, oh, Yuzuki's hitting all of her
And
stuff,
she
and Mayu
even
hits it
she
better.
even specifically said, "The only thing that you do that I don't is the moonsault symphony. You took
Yeah.
that from someone else." And, shout out Big Eo. Um, but yeah, so I kind of loved that she went with that.
Mhm.
Um, I will say I think that
Pretty
this
close to the
match.
first one, I will say.
What do you say?
When she did the lower rope moonsault, I was like, she's cutting that close. That
Yeah.
looks dangerous.
To be fair, her moonsauts are always a bit
Yes,
like
that's true.
like a
That's Mayu.
not off because they are picture perfect, but they aren't. They
Yeah.
never land, like, they always land like, "Oh, that coulda killed someone." The last one looked like it killed her for real. Uh, all knees, but no, I liked this match. In fact, I really, really liked this match, but I do think that, like, more than match quality, I think this was going for something a bit different. It still had the match quality because it's fucking Mayu Iwatani and it's Yuzuki, like, they're great. Um But this was very much Mayu being like, okay, you are steps below me.
Yeah.
We're not doing this 50-50 shit. Like you can get your house afire, you can really like start things off fast pace and do these dives and try to get, try to get me, but we're not doing this like bomb throwing where you almost get me and oh I almost get you. It's like no, I'm beating you. And maybe next year you can you can contend a bit more. Like
Yeah.
9 minutes is crazy. I know it was a 50-minute time limit, but 9 minutes is crazy. That's my sort of idea. And so that did hinder it a tiny bit from being like, an all-time great Yuzuki performance even. I still take the Nanai match over it and
Hmm.
the well, both Nanai matches I should say, the Nanai tag match and the Nanai singles from earlier this year. But I did think it was really, really, really good, and I'm excited to see more of them together as a team and against each other in the next couple years.
Yes, because Mayu did ask to team with her, and
Mm.
I was like, hey, let's just do it. Let's be friends. And Mayu did win. The kind of thing that I said they probably shouldn't do, but they did it. And her first challenger is Misa Matsui. They did that backstage. They didn't do that on the show, so you might have missed that. But Misa
That is
Matsui did
so
challenge.
fucked, bro.
It is very annoying.
Like, it's so frustrating how good that match is gonna be.
Yes,
Because
I just
I'm excited, but like, bro, like this is like her fifth challenge for a belt that she's gonna lose in
it's her
like
third in
6 months.
3 months.
Yeah,
It's like
it is the
literally
third
third
in
in
three
three
months.
months. She lost the tags, then the white belt, and now this.
It's
And it's
it's
like,
her
what are you
fourth.
supposed to do?
It's her fourth in like six. It's her
Yeah,
fourth this year
it's
because she
crazy.
challenged Yuzuki.
And I don't know. I mean, I can't complain too much. I mean, what did we expect when Mayu got the belt? She was obviously going to beat one of the three
Well, to
people
be
in the
fair,
division.
I
But I
expected
am
I
very
expected her to beat like Komomo, and like do some fodder, and I
yes.
expected Misa to cheat to beat her for the belt. So
Yeah,
that's not
you had a
happening.
lot more faith in them than me. I just don't like this belt ever.
I
But
like
you
it.
know what? Mayu's gonna make it work because she's Mayu, and then we can get it off her and we can get serious. For now, this is a fun match, and they did what they needed to do. And
She
we
probably
then
loses to Sari in this case,
potentially depends.
which will
Um,
just continue the pain and suffering of you, who
yes.
wants the lower card belt to be for the lower card.
Well, I kind of just don't want it at all, basically at this point. But
See,
it
but
is
that's
what
the
it is.
thing. That's the thing with like we just had the conversation about Koki, about how there's not enough spots, and
No,
like
but like this is
the
a
Superfly belt
55
creates a spot
kilogram belt,
for
so
Nami.
that's why I don't like it. This
But half
roster
of the
cannot
roster is
support it.
under 55 kilograms.
Kind of. They don't do anything in it. There's only ever three people involved in the title picture, and one of them is Natsumi Shizuki, who
Who
is
hasn't challenged in since, or hasn't
yeah,
been
well,
in the
she's in
title picture
limbo. She is
since
like either losing or not
January
doing
3rd.
anything ever. So like I don't really know what we're supposed to do. But
But
anyway,
that's
it's
what I mean.
fine.
Like I
It's
think
fine.
I think you're underselling
Mayu
to
is
okay,
Mayu.
okay.
She's great. It's fine.
I'm a
Now,
drunk. I know.
we got on to the Marigold World Championship match. Utami Hayashishita beat MIRAI in 16 minutes. As
16? I
a
thought it was 19.
no, 16.
It
Well,
probably
that's
should have
what
been
Cage Match
19.
said.
Probably should have been 19.
Possibly. This was kind of interesting because we were wondering last week what they would do for this one, and they did in fact scale it down, and I think it benefited Utami a lot. I think Mirai had an excellent performance in this one, and Mirai was kind of the driver for everything good almost because she like Utami couldn't do her
I
usual
don't think
stuff
that's
because
fair.
Mirai would just keep throwing something new at Utami, and that kind of made Utami wrestle a lot better than usual because she didn't get to just rest on her usual stuff. She constantly had Mirai to bat away like a fly.
Mm.
And I just think they did really well at building the match without ever getting too slow because that's kind of an Utami thing. She can get really slow and really deliberate, but Mirai was just like, nope, we're going, we're going, we're going. And I thought they just filled the time really, really well. There was some very interesting spots, very good reversals, very good counter stuff, but essentially they just hit enough big moves for 16 minutes that I went, hell yeah, this is cool.
Yeah, it was great. I really fucking liked it. Uh, I think. Oh shit, I don't know who to credit for this. Somebody said it somewhere, and I apologize if you were listening and I'm not crediting you. Might have been Eternal. I don't. Might have been Felipe. I forget. Somebody said that Utami has the Kaito stink on her, where
Oh,
with Kaito, he consistently has great matches, is fairly popular, not always the most popular in the company, but is fairly popular. Um, is the top dog and is pretty good at it, and sometimes gets kind of set up for failure, and in those instances will fail, but usually is pretty great. But people will only ever like pay attention to a good Kaito match when they want to give all the credit to the other person. Like the Ozawa match earlier this and the Ozawa match that happened last week. Great matches. Absolutely great matches. And both of them were great because Kaito knows how to deal with Ozawa better than anybody else. He knows how to do it. He knows how that works. He's perfect. Like he knows that match. And everybody's like, "Man, Ozawa is so." And I'm just like, "Dude, you can't, you can't just not." And while it's completely different here because Mirai is legitimately the best in the world, or one of the best in the world, and Ozawa isn't. Like Ozawa's very good, but he's not, the best work rate guy uh, Noah has by any means, or Puro has by any means.
yeah.
And Mirai has a very strong case for being the most informed Joshi wrestler in the world right now. Uh, I do think that like I saw this match and I was like, this was fucking amazing. And then afterwards, I saw everybody being like, yeah, I mean, Utami was there, but Mirai, man, I was like, no, this was very clearly both of them like giving themselves
Ah,
to
yeah,
the
but it
other
was
and
because
being
Mariah did
ready
all
for it.
the stuff.
This is what
Mariah
I
set up
mean,
all the
but it's
stuff.
not. It's not. It wasn't. It was not. Like I think there is a certain level that you have to give to Utami that yes, I think, and I've kind of been, I was on Scott's show the other day. I kind of workshopped this theory there that it's
Oh
like
my.
Utami in this world title run had the Saori match, was very by the books for Utami. Didn't really want to experiment too much, go out of the norm at all, because frankly, like her and Saori weren't like, had never probably trained together. They never really had much like, back and forth. They didn't have 20 fucking preview matches. They had one or two. Uh, the foreigner matches, the Brazil match was a bit of a letdown, and the tank match was, regardless. I don't think Utami fully trusted them in those matches, and I think this was the first match where you get to see Utami as the top dog, as the person who can command the match and can just be like, okay, we're not doing anything too special or extraordinary. We're just gonna have the match and it's gonna be fine and we're gonna get through it. And this is the first time where you see her be like, no, let's really like collaborate to make this match fucking awesome. And I think that's what Utami can do sometimes. I think you see these sorts of matches when she faces Mayu, whether it was Mayu challenging or her challenging Mayu, or tournament match, whatever it was. There was a trust there. I mean, there was trust there with the Azumi matches, with the Io match last year. Like it's just a matter of like Utami being like willing to kind of be like, you know what, we don't have to do my formula to the T. I'm down to kind of just like do the for like it's not like this was unlike any other Utami match ever. Like this was still an Utami match, but it was the great kind of Utami match where she is really willing to break that formula down and be a lot more giving and receiving, and it just worked. I'm kind of rambling at this point, and I know you're
Yeah,
gonna
I
make
feel
fun of me
like
for
this
rambling.
is because they had 16 minutes. I feel like a lot of your talking
I don't
points are
I don't
because they
think so.
condensed it.
I think this could have worked if it was 20 minutes too. Like I think it
No,
probably would have been better if it was
no.
given 4 extra minutes. I do.
It depends. I think they did
I
all the
I
stuff they needed to do in the 16.
I think Mirai did all of the stuff she needed to do. I think Utami had more in her pocket that she could have done. And I'm not just saying the apron bump, which I'm shocked she didn't do, because she loves doing apron bumps. But I think there was room for more. I do think in that way, the time way and just the positioning way, Utami is the perfect white belt champion who will likely never hold a white belt.
Yes, yeah, they
Like
never put that on.
she would be one of the best white belt champions you could think of because her is a lot better suited for the white belt usually, like
Mm,
which is really funny because she is so heavily associated with the red belt. But
because it's
yeah,
her,
I
her
love this
color
match.
scheme.
If
Um,
if it wasn't Anai's retirement, this match would be the best match on most shows, like like most wrestling shows right now. Like this, I have this on par with the best match from Double or Nothing, and with
yeah.
like the best matches from most shows. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
It was tremendous, really good.
All right. Um, in the post-match promo, Utami then called out Takumi Iroha. She said, I want to defend against you." And for some reason, she unlocked the taunt button. She was emoting. She was smiling. She did a shocked face to show off her tongue piercing. I was like, "Who are you, and what have you done with Utami Hayashishita?" Takumi interestingly said, I will do it, but only on my time." And I do wonder if that's a way to like get more belts so she can do the belt collector thing, or if they're gonna try and hold it off for the
Chikayo.
GP win, but that is
Oh
a
no
little
no
bit
no no
too
no!
long in the
I don't
down
think
the
that's
line,
possible.
considering they did announce Sumo Hall for October, so you'd be waiting 5 months. But 5 months, if Takumi is winning it, I could see it. I don't know, but I did find it interesting that she was like, "Look, I will on my own time." But Utami
I
being
have
so
a feeling that
expressive
was
was so
more
random.
because she wants the GHC first. Like I think either
Possibly,
the GHC first or Toulouse or Chikayo first.
yeah. Is that
When that
Chikara match
happens, I
happening?
don't know.
Somebody said she got
No
injured,
clue.
so I
She did
don't
get hurt.
know if they still are doing it or not.
So there is no. I mean, there's no. I talked about it earlier. That's like the June 10th show is a. I think it's Korakuen. It's a noble show for them. Uh, and there's nothing yet. Like I was expecting them to be like,
Mm,
yeah, Miyamoto's coming back here, and Takumi's
yeah.
defending a belt against Chikayo, and neither of those things have been announced for that show.
Marvelous running
So we will
Corkin
see.
twice in a month is kind of crazy.
I think they are. I know it's like a
If
named
they ran
show
it in
that they're doing.
May, they wouldn't have run it in May, June, and August, would they?
I don't know. I think they're kind of like they're
Upscaling.
they're rocking.
That would be
Uh,
crazy.
I might
I
just
don't
be
know.
pulling shit out of
You
my
could
ass,
be.
but I'm not sure.
I don't feel like I've seen a Corkin advertised by them, but I don't know for sure. But yeah, that was our world title match. As I said before, I did want Mirai to win, but I had kind of become accustomed to Utami winning,
Oh, wait, it's a
and it
Shinkiba
does.
first ring show, but it has a
How did
cool
you?
name.
I don't know.
Marvelous First Impact in Tokyo. It's like that
That's a
sounds like a
men's
Korakuen
show.
name.
That's why.
Oh,
Marvelous Impact
yeah,
is
never
the
mind.
brand Leo Isaka is technically on, so it's a
Oh,
men's show.
that's a
I'm pretty
shame because
sure.
he just got hurt.
Yeah. No.
That's
So they
tough.
they announced the girl one from Dragon Gate, who's not a girl. What's her name?
Oh, Santa Maria?
Yeah, I
Is
think
that
Santa Maria, and then Tokyo Kurishiro or something. I can't remember his name.
Yosuke
Um,
Santa Maria? Yeah.
yes, okay,
Okay.
yeah, they announced those for the Impact show.
Gotcha.
So
Okay,
I'm pretty sure it's
I
a
just found it.
men's show.
It is a men's show. That's my
Yeah.
bad. I don't. So they're probably not doing. Yeah,
No, I
I don't know
don't
when
think
anything's
so.
happening. I don't know when anything's
Um,
happening. If I'm being honest.
okay, neither do I, but that's okay. But yeah, Utami is our champion. Takumi seems to be the big next challenger and might end the reign. Um, and Utami, I'll come back to Utami later because I'm wondering if she's changing something.
My
Um,
my
I
my
mean,
fantasy booking was that Takumi wants one of her underlings, Miyamoto, to challenge first. Uh,
oh, maybe,
so that uh, like just for a little thing. Um,
yeah,
that'd be really cool. But I have a feeling that it'll just be Utami doesn't defend until July.
that would
And Takumi. I don't
it's,
know. They just do that with the red belt.
they
They
do, they
they do
do. I don't
bi-monthly
understand
defenses.
sometimes.
I mean, I get it. It like
I
the
don't.
white belt is the workhorse belt, and the red belt is
Mm,
the we build to it a bit more. Um, and you're gonna want to see it because it doesn't happen every single month. Uh, I get it, and I think holding off till July for Takumi makes me think even more that Takumi could win it. So I think that's
yeah,
cool. Uh,
that's fair.
I just hope
That's
I just hope they don't wait any further than that because then
fair.
we're getting into the GP and then
I think they
October.
might. I think they could. I mean,
I think
Utami and Takumi. I mean, they main evented Osaka Joe. I think they could main event Sumo Hall. or
I think
semi-main event if
Takumi
they
can
have
main
another
event.
big match.
I think Takumi could. I, I don't know. I think we'll see.
Yeah.
I think
We
they
have to
would have
get on. We
waited.
have to go. We have to go. We have lots to do.
I know, but I
So
think they would
our
have
main
waited to do
event.
the stare down if Takumi was winning the Dream Star. If that's what this was building
Don't
to,
know.
I think they would have waited.
Our main event was the last Passion. Miku Aono beat Nanai Takahashi in 22 minutes, retiring Nanai and
With
fully
the one
passing the
second
mantle.
EX.
Yes, Miku Aono, her Styles Clash got kicked out of not once but twice. And then she said, fine, then I will hit you with your own move. Um, this was excellent. This was everything Nanai has been bringing to the table for the past few years. Just the kind of physicality, intensity, violence, and passion that very few other people can bring. And Miku Aono was more than willing to meet it. I think she had a lot more stank on her kicks than usual. Her stuff just looked very
Shout
impactful.
out Hoda.
When Yeah, shout out Hoda. When they did the slap exchange, she wasn't just letting Nanai beat her, she was actually really fully slapping back. Like, I've never seen somebody rise to the occasion to go, this is your retirement, but this is me making myself into the one kind of thing. Like, Iono took this chance as, I'm going to make myself one of Marigold's core pieces, whether you like it or not. And I think, Nanai, credit to her, as I said last week, she kind of knows when she has to do business, and she did ultimately put Miku Aono over in her own last match. And I think this benefited everybody. I think it was a fantastic main event. I don't blame anybody who says it's their match of the year. I probably wouldn't go that high just because of Tam and Saya. But this is definitely up there in that conversation for kind of best matches of 2025. And yeah, long live Miku Aono, who is, I think, a made woman now, pretty solidly.
Uh, yeah. I thought it was great. Obviously, I've found it funny because it is in my top 5 match of the year.
Hmm.
Sai and Tam is not.
Yeah, well, you're
Uh,
a heathen, so
it's in my top 10. It's in my top 10.
okay,
But that's the dream. That's the Queendom match, not the Korakuen, which is funny.
that's crazy.
Um,
The Korakuen is nothing is touching that Korakuen to me.
yeah, but then it didn't matter. Um, anyway, I thought that Nanai and Miku was a really great match. It felt like a spiritual successor, and this is stick with me here. Felt like a spiritual successor to the MoMA match. Um,
Right?
because it felt like while Miku and Momo are very different wrestlers, it felt like imagine the Momo match, but Momo fought back.
Yeah.
Because obviously it was a lot longer than the Momo match, but this felt like the second half, like that match and the second half of that match that you wanted to see of
Mhm.
Momo like being like, no, I'm not fucking taking this, and getting back at her. And I kind of felt emotional when I realized that like halfway through. I was like, Nanai is trying to be like, if you don't fight back, I'm going to big league you. So fight
Yeah.
back. And Miku fought back. And it was like that is what I wanted from Nanai in her retirement match was for her to be still very intrinsically Nanai. Like this was more Nanai than like any match you could name in Marigold recently because it was her, I've already used this term once, but I'm going to use it again. Her big dicking her opponent, being like, no, like if you don't, I will. Like
Yeah.
if you don't win this, I will, and I have no care. I don't care if you fail, fuck you. Doesn't matter. Like you have to do the it was a more hilariously because she lost a more selfish Nanai in the way she fought, and I really appreciated that shift compared
Yeah.
to all of her stuff in Marigold, which has all been great. She's probably the MVP of Marigold in the first year. I don't think that's
Mhm.
insane to say. Um, but like I really appreciated the tonal shift from Nanai, and I appreciate how much Miku was willing to like fight that and willing to take that and make it into something really special. Um, because yeah, like I just thought Nanai was like I'll hurt you if you let me. Like if you don't fight back, it's over. And it really did cement Miku as a badass and like as the inheritor of what high-end main event level Nanai is. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Um, if Sari is the inheritor of the of passion. Miku is the inheritor of fucking 2019 seedling. I'm trying to kill you, and this is it. All of the quote unquote bad things about Nanai that we've all kind of learned to be like, no, that was actually kind of really badass. Um, Miku took all of that.
Yeah.
Sari can take all the nice shit. Miku took the no, I'm killing you today, and I don't care. Like that was the difference there, and I thought it was perfect. It was a truly, truly incredible match. Um, and yeah, I look forward to Miku winning the red belt with the 1 second EX.
Hell yeah.
Using Nanai's move to win the one red belt she hasn't. I think that's a beautiful,
It's gonna be
beautiful
crazy.
story that they're going to tell.
That is fantastic. We love Marigold. Um, I thought I liked how they just went straight into the good stuff after.
Yeah.
They did the gauntlet, and it was a fun gauntlet. We won't dive into it too
Fucking
much,
Senka,
but
bro. Like we
Senka
don't have to go over all of them.
immediately beelining to the ring.
Trying to fucking concuss her, bro.
Yeah.
Just what a
Um,
psycho.
I think notably Seri was the only one to pin Nanai in this little gauntlet thing because
Mm.
that's just their thing. That is how they do it. Seri very much the inheritor. Hoto was such a surprise, like the start of the music hit, and I went, "Holy shit, Rossi Ogawa, you've buried another hatchet." And obviously the Momoe ending was just
The burnt
lovely.
bridge has been recreated with Nanai and Miku holding it together. It's just
Yeah,
them two.
dude,
It's
how
just
many
them two.
bridges burnt were reassembled during this retirement
To be
ceremony?
fair, I think that the Hoda Rossi bridge is not as burnt as some
No,
other
I think
Rossi
Hoda is
bridges.
just equally as much of a dickhead as Rossi.
Yeah,
They were both willing
I
to
think
hold
there's like
grudge.
they're just like let's just not hold
Yeah,
let's just not work together ever.
yeah.
That kind
So,
of vibe.
but I just had sort of smile on my face for everything. Like the
Mom-
gauntlet was lovely. The
Momoe
retirement
coming out
ceremony,
made
the
me bawl my
Momoe's
eyes out.
bit was lovely.
I legitimately bawled my eyes
The
out. Like I don't know.
AJW theme playing at the end was beautiful.
Yeah,
Like that is such a
such a good
perfect
song
ending.
too.
It is. And just the entire retirement ceremony had a smile on my face. It was one of those where every
Yeah.
new name I was like, holy shit. And then they did Kumiko Mekawa and I was like, oh my god, life has peaked.
Shouts
Like
out to Momoe.
they had Minami Toyota here, they had all the roster here. Sakushi showed up from her
Yes.
retirement to pay tribute. The Gato Move crew or the Choco Pro crew was there. Everybody
Just
came
two of them,
together to
but yeah.
celebrate Nanai. And it was just lovely to see. And it was kind of like, even though there's obviously a lot of sadness that Nanai won't wrestle again, and we've seen the end of Nanai. It was a very happy send off for her,
Yeah.
and
She
everything
recited
about it
all the
just went
passion
so nice.
commandments,
She
and
did.
the
It was
crowd did it
great.
with them.
Like
Uh,
she deserved the being carried up the ramp and getting that last moment. Like
I
they were
thought that
both,
was really beautiful too.
yeah.
I thought all of it was really nice,
Mhm.
but Utami, Miku, and Mayu with Sari in the back and Momoe cheering her on, like that,
Yeah.
just it really like captured something. Like it felt like a
Mhm.
moment in time, and obviously that's the cover of Shupra this week. A very fitting, very rightful cover is the four of them. Well, Sari's cropped out like Mike Wazowski style, but uh, it's very fitting and it was very nice. And then having the roster escort her out and then announce uh
That was
Grand
perfect. The
Destiny,
second the curtain closed behind her, they said, "Hey, we're running Sumo Hall.
and then
This
everybody
isn't
comes
the
back
end."
out and
Yeah, that was
Utami
perfect. That was
closes the
perfect.
show.
That's what I was gonna say about Utami though. She, even in that closing stretch, was so much more expressive. I wonder if Nanai being gone made them go, okay, we need somebody who's gonna
Well,
like ramp the crowd up.
as much as we talked about, oh, Mayu's probably going to take over uh, training, Sonny said on commentary that Utami took over all of Nanai's day-to-day duties like this
Oh,
past week,
interesting.
um, or at least recently. I don't think he said specifically this past week, but like with Nanai, like he said with Nanai on her way out, Utami has taken over her duties as trainer.
Oh,
So Mirai and Utami, like he brought it up during the Utami Mirai match. He's like,
yeah.
these are the two who are kind of like, behind the scenes, like leading the pack. It's kind of there are Utami wrestlers, there's Mirai wrestlers, and they're kind of like he was kind of trying to set it up in a kayfabe way. But
Yeah.
so yeah, I do think to some degree that Utami is like as much as what we see from her is just her hanging out, I do think that there is a certain level of like responsibility that she is wanting to or prepared to at least take up with Nanai gone.
Hmm.
And I think you see that in the post match. Beyond just being a world
Yeah.
champion, it did feel like she felt just as much of a standard bearer as Miku does when she does it, or as as Mirai does,
Yeah,
or
I don't know. She just seemed a lot more like energetic, and she obviously isn't going to go around yelling passion at everybody, but she did seem a lot
she
more like,
might
"Hey guys, get
she likes
into
doing
it,
that.
get into it." So I did think that was interesting, and like between the promo with like Takumi and the promo at the end of the show, she just showed a lot more life than she has in a long time. I don't know
Yeah.
if that's them going, "Hey, Nanaya's gone. We need somebody who's going to get the crowd into them. Can you do it?" And she said, "Yeah, sure. Let's do it." So. But yeah, I did really like that. Even though Nanai was finished up, they said, "Hey, look, we're still here. This is still Marigold. This isn't the end of the world."
We still have the
Um,
vibe. We still have the passion. We're
yeah,
still.
it's
Also
an
love that
interesting
Yuzuki and
mix.
Utami were the last they were hanging out together. I was like, yay, the
Yeah,
tag's not dead. I was scared.
it was an interesting like dichotomy between obviously the Stardom show ended with Tam and Saya fading to black, and this one ended with, "Hey, the world isn't over with Nanai. We're still here." And I think there's the difference in the two reactions almost because for some insane reason, for days after Tam retired, people were like, "This is the end of the company," and I was like, "You're all stupid." But
And then Saya came back for the
yeah,
Saya came back for the Golden Week tour like nothing had happened.
yes. But yeah, I thought just it was an interesting how different those endings were, where one was like, "We're fading to black on Tam, and that's it, or she's done,"
Mm,
and the other one was like, "Yeah, Nanaya's done. We're running Super Hall, by the way." So I
yep.
just thought it was an interesting difference between the two. But that ended the show. A great show, I thought, very good. Definitely the show that they've probably needed for a while to just kind of go, "Hey, look, guys, we're here.
Yeah.
We're the big boys." Um, no offense to Tokyo Joshi Pro. I don't think there's any discussion as to who's number two in the scene right now. I don't think it's even close.
Yeah. I
TJ
mean,
is
especially
not
this
getting
year.
2,500 people at a show anytime
Like
soon. What they're
I
going
feel
to.
like maybe it's just like personal interest, but like I feel like TGPW is just
No.
not cooking right now. Like in terms of just like vibe, like they aren't like if Marigold versus like you if you had that conversation, if TGPW a few years ago versus Marigold now, it's like that is a race. Like that is
Yeah.
a contended, but I feel like specifically like right now, I don't feel that with
No.
TGPW. And it's like maybe I can be wrong. I'm not afraid, but like it is it feels like there is a difference there. There's a gap.
Definitely. But that was that show. And we do have stuff to preview really quick because we do have
Yes.
Stardom to do. Um, and I do want to dive into Stardom because, as I said, they had the two big debuts, and obviously they had some title matches as well. So just get up the Marigold schedule if I can because I didn't think ahead to do it. And obviously it is a pain in the ass to get the Marigold schedule up
I'm just
because
pulling
some
up
of their
Scott's
stuff
tweet, man.
that's pretty smart. So let's see, will this work? Maybe on May 30th in Kumamoto. We open with Hummingbird versus Misa Matsui versus Rhea Seto.
Of
Misa
course with
Matsui
that.
is going. No, we don't open with that. Another match loaded in. Ryoko Sakamura versus Megaton. Jesus
Don't fuck with
Christ.
that. Don't fuck with that.
Um,
I do
we're
not
gonna
fuck with that
pretend
opener.
that doesn't exist. Misa, Rhea, and Hummingbird. Misa is going to win because she is wrestling Mayu soon.
Yeah, but that's like a fun little Superfly
Yeah,
three-way. I like that.
it's chill. Chiaki versus Nagisa Tachibana to win, presumably for Chiaki.
Yeah, yeah. Tachibana
Uh,
hasn't won yet.
yeah. The Super Rookies, Sari and Shinno take on Kazuna Tanaka and Kamomo Minami. That is going to be a win for the Super Rooks.
Wait, it's against who?
Kazuna and Kamomo.
Yeah, Komomo's going down.
Yeah.
Unfortunately for her.
Utami Hayashishita and Koki versus Mai Sakurai and Chan Yota. That is a 15-minute draw, I would assume. They're
I think
probably going to
that
want to get Koki's legs under her. So
I think
good job.
that is where maybe not where it's make or break for Koki, but I think this is the first match where I was like, okay, that should be a good Koki performance.
Yeah.
Like if she wasn't hurt, if she had never gotten hurt,
Mhm.
like that should be a good Koki performance. So that's a bit more of a like I will judge her there because
Fair enough. Mayu Iwatani teams with Mirai and Victoria Yuzuki to take on Miku Aono, Yuki Minami, and Chika Goto. So that is going to be a win for Mayu's team.
yep,
That is
Stardom.
cool to see Mayu versus Miku. Yeah,
Yes,
Stardom
yeah, for the
versus
first time.
the
Versus
Outsiders.
Stardom versus the people who have other jobs.
Yes. We then have on the 31st of May in Fukuoka, we have Seri and Shinno versus Nagisa Tachibana and Ryoko Sakamura. And that is, again, a win for the Super Rogues.
Bro, Shino's gonna kick Ryoko and Ryoko's gonna kick her back, and it's gonna be the funniest thing you've ever seen.
Hell yes.
I mean,
Uh,
Ryoko doesn't throw bad kicks. She doesn't
no, she doesn't.
throw good ones. Um, so we'll see. That's an interesting one.
Um, Team
Hmm.
Xavier versus Team Dylan, Chika Goto versus Hummingbird. And
Fuck yeah.
that's going to be hopefully a win for Gochika. She
Hopefully
rocks.
not, brother. It's the bird. No, I'm
No.
kidding. Goto should obviously win.
Yes. Koki versus Komomo Minami versus Koki
No,
versus Yuki Minami versus Megaton.
that's bad.
Yes. Not fun. Chanyota versus Kizuna Tanaka. That rocks. That is
Also very,
awesome.
very, what it's all about. If
Yeah,
I'm being honest.
that is fair. Chanyota presumably is gonna win.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Utami Hayashishita and Victoria Yuzuki versus Chiaki and Misa Matsui.
That should be
Chiaki is staring at
a
the
good
lights.
match. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, she is.
Yeah.
Maybe Misa gets one over Izuki just to kind of like
Mm,
be like,
don't.
I'm on a roll. And if
Yeah.
they want to like do a rift between Utami and Izuki, please don't. Um, I could see it coming here, but they shouldn't. So
We have the Komomo Minami homecoming match. It is Komomo Minami, Mayu Iwatani, and Mirai versus Rei Seto, Mai Sakurai, and Miku Aono.
that's something
Um,
you forget. Komomo was a Stardom rookie, so her and
yeah,
Mayu
this is
like
Stardom.
Mayu helped train her probably. Well, yeah,
Yeah.
because she was trained by Hazuki originally. So Mayu would help Hazuki. Yeah, so like because
Um,
Komomo was also her second in Noah, and I was like, oh yeah, I forgot that they like, and I remembered. It's like,
she
yeah,
was. Um, Komomo might win. They might start leveling her up.
Komomo is
I
winning that
don't
one.
really know though.
Um,
Yeah, over Rhea.
maybe over, Rhea. It might.
But Rhea
It
is the
might
only one
be,
she's going to be able to beat. They're not having
no,
her
but
go for Mai.
no, I know. Well, I'm not saying. I'm saying that maybe someone else on Komomo's team wins.
Oh
Over
yeah,
Rhea. But yeah, sorry, Rhea, but going
yeah.
down.
Oh, yeah, that's all right. Nagisa Nozaki notoriously absent from this one, which I think is interesting.
As
Um,
are Shozuki and Ishikawa.
yes, Shizuki is a weird one, but she's
Mm.
probably got an acting gig or something. But yeah, that is the upcoming show is pretty decent stuff. With that though, we get on to Stardom. We had a Korakuen over the past week to discuss, as well as two championship matches, and then we have a pay per view this coming weekend. There
Oh
is
yeah,
Stardom wrestlers doing stuff, but I truly don't think we have time. There is a May Sarah versus May Saruga
that's
match for
tonight though,
those
so
who are
that already
interested.
happened.
Yeah, but you guys might want to check that out. It's probably
Especially
free
if
on
May
YouTube
might win.
for Chocolate Pro.
Well, May's
Might.
definitely gonna win.
Yeah.
Um,
But May
one of them.
Suruga, she kicks ass. I like May Suruga.
Yeah.
And yeah, we have our first show to review. Stardom Nighter 2025 in Korakuen for May. This did 1,176 fans, which I think is insane for a Starlight Kid versus HANAKO main event. This company really cannot fail at this stage. Like, they didn't even put Saya in a big match and they drew that crowd. It's crazy. But we opened the show with Azumi beating Emma Maishima. Azumi
Maishima.
pinned her in just under 11 minutes with the Azumi Zushi. Very strong debut from Emma. I think she's very much a work rate wrestler already. I think she could fit into that like house show hero kind of role straight
She
away.
reminds me of Komomo Minami in like her
But better.
what she has in her toolbox, so to speak.
Hmm.
Better than right now, Komomo Minami, I would disagree. Um,
I don't know. She's really good. Like Emma just fits what Stardom does so well.
yeah,
Uh,
no,
Um,
I think the roll up merchant aspect of it really fits. Like
yes.
it was necessary. I think it we could use those right now. Like
Yeah,
I
that's
think
true.
because Rian kind of has that, but I think Emma kind
Just
of
think the
showed
way she
a
kept
better.
up with Azumi and like
Yeah,
flowed and was showing athleticism. It's kind of a lot of what people look for in Stardom. And
yeah.
also, I know most people probably didn't even watch these. I watched Kikyo and Emma in some of the house show trios tags, and Emma translates a lot better to
Mm.
the house show tags. So
Yeah,
I think
I
she just fits in wherever they need right away.
Kikyo is interesting.
She is. And I
Like
will talk about that. Sure.
I was a bit surprised that there was so much more love for her than
Mhm.
Emma. Because
Yeah, because I
I
watched
did
Emma
not.
first, and I was like, "Did everybody just skip this? Like, she's good."
Yeah, and like I thought Kikyo did great. Like I thought she did very very maybe not great. I didn't think either of these were like absurdly great rookie like debut matches,
I thought they were
but
very good, though. I think they were the
I thought they were
strongest in a
good.
while.
Um, but I was like, this isn't. uh, I thought that they did pretty much on level in different ways, obviously, but
Mhm.
I didn't think Kikyo was like notably better
But
than Emma.
Kikyo has, I think her charisma and stuff is a lot
Yeah,
better.
I mean, like the gear is more jump off the page and just
Yeah,
like
the
the
entrance
look
theme
and
as
everything.
well. Like the
The
entrance
theme is
theme isn't,
great. The theme
I
is
know,
great.
similar to everybody's. It's, I think she's got a very good vibe to stand out. But I think credit to Azumi as well. She made Emma look very good, but Emma definitely just already slots in as like a very good Stardom wrestler. So
Azumi had like a better performance here than she had in some of her recent title matches, bro. Like
yes,
she was like fucking on it in every single on every single beat. She was on it here. Um and Emma was there to meet her, which I think is
yeah,
the thing that you were kind of alluding to that like that's very impressive because when Azumi's on, she can leave you in the dust. She tries not to, but she can.
yeah,
And Emma was able to keep up.
she was. Hanan then beat the other debutant, who is Kikyo Furusawa. Kikyo is a very interesting wrestler. She's very technical heavy, but it's like
Mm.
technical trickery, and she like uses the attackers to like set up stuff, and it's very interesting. She did one thing where she was like on the ground, and like
Yeah, I'm shocked you like her.
yeah, she just it's how quick and off the cuff a lot of the stuff she does felt. But I think she won everybody over with the entrance. She's very like Maki Ito esque almost, where she like has the red and black. She's kind of like I am music inspired. I am above all of this shit. She just really feels cool. And I think the entrance theme fits her really well. It starts with like the metal riff and then goes into the standard
The
like
Yoshi
Euro
theme
dance
song.
stuff. But like it starts with the metal riff that kind of makes her feel different, and I think she wrestles a very interesting style. Her problem, as I said, is adjusting to the house shows because they did. I think it was she was against the Stars trio. She was with I can't remember who she was with, but essentially everybody was doing their shit, and then it was her and Momo Kogo, and she was like, "It's time for an armbar." Amongst these bodies flying everywhere, she goes, "Nope, armbar." So
See, I mean, I feel like if you've been listening to this show long enough, I feel like I have pretty much the same thing to say about Kikyo as I did after Miyu Amasaki's debut.
yeah.
There is a lot here,
Mhm.
and you can tell that she wants to do like this technical stuff, and I applaud her for it because she's good at it. Like like she immediately like
Works in
got it.
singles, definitely.
Yeah, it definitely worked against Hanan. Like I thought it was very interesting and like you said, very snappy in the way she placed it was smart.
Technical wizardry.
Um, but it will be difficult. Um,
Mhm.
and it can I do, I do worry that, for Miyu, if you compare it, Miyu was trying to figure out the technical stuff and how to put it into every one of her matches, and was getting better at it, but not quick enough to the point where at some point she has dropped it completely and is now a different wrestler.
Yeah.
A wrestler who you can argue wasted like 9 months of her career trying to do a style that she does 0% of now. Um, so I hope that Kikyo, what
I think it's
I know there's
Kikyo.
like there's pronunciation weirdness in how it's
But see,
translated, but
initially the kanji was OU, according to Japanese speakers, but Bushiroad's graphic department had it as just Kikyo
Kikyo,
without the
yeah.
U. So
But point being is that I worry that the technical stuff isn't gonna work as well. Um, to translate to just like the Stardom schedule in general,
yeah.
and she'll have to find something new. Uh, so I'm hoping for her because obviously I like technical stuff, and I thought that like the stuff she brought was unique and interesting, and you don't see it every day from rookies, and I
Hmm.
appreciate that. But I do also worry that it's like that's a hard style to do in Stardom, especially when you're new
Yes,
to it.
that is true. It's not very Stardom. Uh,
No,
we're athleticism here. Um, yeah, I think those are two
like
strong debuts.
it'll let her stand out. Yeah, like
Yeah, for sure.
Emma, like we said, like we've pretty much alluded to, Emma doesn't stand out as much, but she fits.
Hmm.
And sometimes that's more important. You know,
That's true.
like it just kind of is like it's a conformity thing. We'll see. Sometimes conformity works, sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah, well, maybe I was right with Maki Ito because she was very submission heavy as well, but she kind of made it a storytelling thing. So maybe Kikyo can do that as well.
We'll see. Yeah.
But yeah, we had then the God's Eye team of Tomoka Inaba, Rani Agami, Saki Kashima, and Kyoka Kotatsu beat Hazuki, Koguma, Akira, and Yuria Hime in 9 minutes. Tomoka pinned Yuria. A good match when stuff was happening. Baseball Hazuki and Bear Suit Koguma are basically Tetsuya Naitoing their way through every
Yeah, I
show.
was gonna say that's the most checked out I've ever seen Koguma, and Koguma can check out, bro.
Yeah,
Like she can check out,
it's
but
crazy.
like she didn't even wear gear, bro. At least
Yeah,
Suzuki wore her gear under. She was like, "No, I'm just wearing the fucking bear suit, bro." They
like
did say
the
after this match, in backstage that they have something they have to ask the company about doing,
interesting.
outside of the company. So I was like, "Oh, they're trying to go to TNA because Kelly showed up." Um,
Yeah, it's turned heel.
but
They're gonna
but
do
no, I mean,
something there.
like maybe they'll be in the women's tag tournament that isn't happening in AEW.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, Kira and Yuria kind of had to carry this one for their team. Hazuki isn't like bad when she even half-assing it, but it's clearly not
No,
the same. But yeah, this was a good match because
to be
Tomoki
fair, on the
Inaba
other
is
side,
good and Rani Agami is good and
yeah, I
Kyoko
was gonna
Tatsu
say
is
on
good.
the other side, Rana kind of carried the load for the most part,
Yeah.
uh, just in terms of like doing stuff. So yeah, it was fine. It was
Yes.
good.
We then had Natsuko Tora, Saya Kamatani, Azusa Inaba, and Fukigen Death beat Miyu Amasaki, Mei Seira, Sai Ida, and Momo Kogo.
This one
Tora
surprised
pinned
me.
Miyu in 11.5 minutes.
I thought this was like actively good, like
It
actually like
was.
really
You know,
really good.
Sai Ida has gotten a lot of focus in the tags recently. I wonder if they're trying to do something with her. Because even on the house show tag that I watched, she was like the key part. And they had
Mhm.
her going up against Saya Kamatani here for a good bit of it. So I do wonder
Yeah,
if they're trying to do something with Ida.
I thought Ida did really good against
Hmm.
Kamatani, and I thought Miyu Amasaki down the stretch with Natsuko was a lot of fun as well.
Oh, dude. Yeah, that was good.
When Miyu gets to do stuff, she's fucking awesome. And
She is.
Natsuko can still like lock in small intervals, and I thought that they
Hmm.
had a really good closing stretch. So yeah, I was surprised by how much I like this match.
That's fair. We then had the God's Eye team of Hina, Siri, and Lady C beat Yuna Mizumori, Aya Sakura, and Sayaka Karara. Hina pinned Karara in 11.5 minutes with a Gato clutch. That was a good match again. Siri and Aya
Uh,
Sakura did some stuff. Aya was getting her ass beat, but she's very good at it. And Hina was kind of cool in there with Karara for the finishing stretch.
I didn't love this as much. I thought it was. There were some cool stuff. I thought Lady C swinging Aya at like 20 miles per hour was insane.
Yeah.
Like Aya became like a an object that was just getting like I was like you can't do this to a person. Like that's like that's not okay. Like it was just kind of insane. Um Even though it was only 11 minutes, it felt very long. I think that was the big thing against it. I felt like I was watching this at night. I was watching it. I felt like I started this match at like 9:40, and then I was still watching it when I checked the clock. It was like 10:40. I was like, that's not how that worked. It's been 10 minutes. What just happened? Like I was very confused. It felt like and I didn't pause it. So I was like, I feel like I've been watching this for a long time. And I think that kind of hurt it. But I thought it was, solid work nonetheless.
That's
Uh,
fair.
Sakakura and Hina. Sakakura is probably beating Hina for the title.
Maybe.
Because we have to start that 50-50 now, before the title match is even announced.
Of course.
They haven't announced the New Blood cards yet, right?
No, they haven't announced anything as far as I'm
Well,
aware.
that's the only card in the next like 10 days is
Really?
New Blood. Outside of the Natsu
Well,
and Sayori. New Blood
interesting.
is like, yeah, like next weekend, like next
They
weekend.
announced New Blood like 2 days before it last time, in fairness. So
Yeah, but that's
I
the
wouldn't be
only
shocked.
card they have. They gotta have some idea of what's
That
going on.
has not stopped them before, and I don't think it will stop them now.
Because I think
Then
Yuria tweeted, she was like, "Oh, I'm not wrestling until like like I'm out for a
yeah,
while because there's no shows."
it's a quiet schedule for them relatively, because yeah, they run New Blood and then they're back at Korakuen now, and then they have the conversion not long after. So they gotta start setting stuff up for the conversion, because that's in
Yeah, what the
three
fuck? There's
weeks.
no other shows. I
Yeah,
just
they're
realized
getting
that
ready.
it's New Blood, Korakuen conversion. And then there's a little Numazu tour, but like
Yeah, interesting. Anyway, our next match was Natsupoi and Soriano beating Wakasukiyama and Rian. Natsupoi pinned Rian in 13.5 minutes with a Ferial gift. Um, just pretend Waka doesn't exist, and I thought the Natsupoi and Ano did a really good job in trying
did
to
Waka
make
tag
Rian.
in?
I don't know. I don't know. But Rian was the focus. She got
Yeah.
Korakuen all cheering for her. Like
Hmm.
Natsupoi and Ano beat on her so bad they got her over in defeat, and I thought that was really cool. I haven't seen Ano or Natsupoi this good in a while. She was just very good
Yeah.
while bullying Rian, and I thought this was a very effective match in getting some shine on one of their kind of more under the radar youngsters. I feel like Rian kind of gets forgotten about a lot, but I do think she's really talented. So I was kind of glad she got the spotlight here.
Yeah, I thought it was a lot of Natsupoi and Rion. I would have liked a bit more of Sari in it. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
but I thought it was yeah, a good performance, especially from Rian and Tom and Jerry over there were doing their best. Obviously, I think they've kind of taken a liking to Rian, and she should go to the Ito Dojo, get some reps in,
I'm right.
since that's a thing they're doing. Um, Kira Ito, wait, let me cook.
All right.
Kira Ito and Rian challenging for the tag belts, for the New Blood tag belts against Waka and Hanako. Who says no?
Me.
Who says no?
I say no.
Okay, who name a person whose opinion matters that says no.
Wow. Why would anybody listen to this show if my opinion doesn't
My
matter?
opinion is
Let
the
me
only
see.
one that matters.
Oh, right. Okay.
When it comes to Kira Ito, that's just the case.
I like Kaorito, just not now. This is not today. You act like I think she's shit. I like Kaorito. Her Prime is
Yeah,
cool.
but I like her
Utops
more.
was cool. Was she in Utops? She was in Utops, right? Because she became a Zap. Utops became Zaps.
My niece is slapping me. Stop it.
You
Leave me
deserve
alone.
that for being mean to
Yeah,
me.
yeah, I know.
So there you go. But
Go
anyway,
in the other room. Go.
our next match was a number one contenders match for the Artists of Stardom Championships. This ended in a 15-minute double count out. Well,
This
16
pissed me
minutes
off so
technically.
much because it was
It,
good until it wasn't, and then it
I
started
thought it
making me
was
really
pretty good.
bad.
The way all of these pairings kind of worked, like Rina and
Yeah,
Rina, very
I
good.
thought Rita and
Naoki
Rita
and
was
Iwata,
awesome.
very good.
Itsuki and Rock was awesome. Didn't
Suzu
love
gets the best
Suzu and
stuff out of Konami.
Konami.
I would
I
disagree.
didn't
Suzu
love
gets the
that.
best out of Konami. Even in the three-way match, I thought this is some of the
Yeah,
most
no,
solid
I
Konami
thought they
stuff in a
did
while.
great work in the three-way match. I didn't love it here, and I also started looking at the clock, being like, This goes to a fucking count out, bro. Can we please hurry up? Like this
Nah,
is
I didn't hate it.
this is taking so long just to end in a count out. Please. But I thought that the match was really good, and then
Mhm.
it started being a little bit worse, and then we got the count out spots, and I was like, all right, man. That's
I
annoying.
don't know. I thought it was good.
I didn't think it was bad. Like I thought it had its very good qualities to it. I think Itsuki Aoki is such a delight. Uh
Yes.
in general, but also like especially in Stardom. I think she's having a lot of good work here. Um she's showing out definitely more than Rina,
Mhm.
which is just kind of natural because Aoki's more of a workout horse than Rina is. Just
Yeah,
naturally. She's
nowadays anyway.
yeah, well yeah. But so obviously it's a bit more expected, but yeah, I really liked Aoki and Ruaka. Like that was great. I loved
Yeah.
their stuff here and in the Osaka show.
Mhm.
Um, so yeah,
Yeah, the Osaka show
I didn't
being just
hate
a
it.
lot of this match, but with Neo Genesis thrown in. It
Yeah,
was
I
so
think
good,
that's another thing is that it's like that match was kind of lame, especially because they had a better version of it a few days later.
I guess. I would disagree, but I can see where you're coming from. I just like number one contenders matches. I like things happening. So that's my
I am also
favorite.
a fan of things happening.
Yeah.
I
Um,
hate when things happen and then have non-insequential or in non-consequential
I grew
endings.
up watching TNA. I don't think you understand. That shit does not affect me anymore. I watched Fortune. I was there for Fortune. Okay,
Fortune
I was there for
4.
Aces and Eights. Y'all ain't beating me.
Were you there
Stardom's not
for
beating me.
Taz taking off his vest, being like, "I'm aces and eights, brother."
Yes, I was there for all of Aces and Eights. I went to a house show, a TNA house show, when Aces and Eights was main eventing.
Ah, I'm
No
sorry,
word of
man.
a lie. No word of a lie.
Isn't it so crazy that they waited until Devon like couldn't move to push one of the Dudley boys, and were like, "Well, I guess we gotta push Baba." It's like, really? Like,
Yeah,
but
that's fair.
like Devon was the better Dudley, like literally 90% of their run, and
It's not
then
that hard, in fairness.
he stopped. Like he was like, "I'm done. I'm chilling," and then they're like, "Now we're pushing a Dudley." Fuck you, man.
Our main event was for the World Wonder of Stardom Championship. Starlight Kid defended against HANAKO in 21.5 minutes with a Black Tiger leg destroyer. Starlight Kid did everything I kind of asked of her. She didn't just wrestle her
Mm,
normal style. She definitely was a lot more like a cat trying to paw at somebody much bigger. And it was
yes.
very interesting to watch. She did target the leg, but it was definitely a lot smarter than just sell your leg because that's my finish. It was much more targeted. And I thought Hanako brought stuff out that I haven't seen her do before, like the suplex off the top rope into another suplex was crazy. And I thought she did pretty
Well,
well
that's just
for her
Mike.
part.
That's Micah 101.
It
It's
is,
Micah's big
but it
move.
looks impressive when a tall lady does it on Starlight Kid. But
Fair.
honestly, I full credit to Starlight Kid. I thought she worked her ass off here to make this work and really worked a smart title match as the champion. And I thought Hanako was able to rise to the occasion of just kind of being the big one who just hits Kid whenever she stops moving. So I honestly like I didn't expect them to pull this out, but I thought they did really well with it.
It might be because I waited to watch this a bit too long, and went through what like 5 days of people being like, "Oh my god, it was so fucking good." I thought it was a good match. I thought it kind of lost me in the middle.
Hmm.
I thought the opening stuff was good, and I thought the finish and the road to the finish was good, but I felt like in the middle, Hanako was just like kind of a bit aimless, like just trying to figure something out, which is natural. Like I'm not saying like, oh, she sucks because she did. It's like no, like it's natural. You're put into a 21-minute singles main event in Cork and Hall. Like you're not going to know exactly what to do for all 21 minutes. Um, but yeah, so I was a bit lower on this than most. I have it more or less the same, like on even playing field as the Sakakura challenge
Yeah.
for Sai Kamatani last or earlier this month, which I also thought was good, quite good, but not um, maybe not on the level of a white belt or red belt championship match.
Hmm.
It's more of a test, so I get it. I get why it was below that level, but it was a bit disappointing generally for that. Um, but yeah, I thought Hanako did well. I appreciate some of her bigger stuff. Like I think
Yeah.
Hanako has some of these moves that just really are like like really I'm trying to make like sound effects and it doesn't work for a podcast. But like really like it just like really like goes at it. And it really works. Um but I still think a lot of her just like matchmaking isn't great and I thought Starlight Kid did a good enough job of kind of uh smoothing the edges, like making it a bit more compact and concise and making it work. So I agree with you. I do credit Starlight Kid for a lot of what made this match great and made this match, not fall apart. Uh, because it didn't fall apart, it lost me at a certain point, and that's natural. It's 21 minutes. It's Hanako. It is what it is. I'm not too disappointed in it because I did think it was a good match, but I was definitely lower than a lot of people were on it.
That's fair. Honestly, I mean, you hate Starlight Kid, so it's fine.
That's
Um,
also not true. Like I've
no,
also
no,
like
I know, I
to be
know.
fair, no, to be fair, I am lower on her run now because I thought the Izumi match was a bit of a miss, and I think that the Hanako match wasn't as much of a miss, but it wasn't a hit for me. Um, but the arena match, I mean, like it's the arena match, you know what I mean? Like, let's be
Fair.
frank. And I
The
expect
match she
Suzu
won it
to
in was
challenge
great
her.
too.
Wait, what do you say?
The match she won it in was great as well.
Yeah, and that was a lot of Starlight Kid too.
Yeah.
No disrespect to Natsupoy, but Starlight Kid worked her fucking ass off to make that a great match, and
Mhm.
I 100% respect her for it. She really, you know, when she's put in a position to really do well outside of the Izumi match. But even then, she was hurt. Let's not forget her arm was clearly fucked still at that point. When she's in a position to really succeed, I think she'll succeed. That's why I'm excited for what I expect to be her versus Suzu coming up. I
Yeah,
expect that
and
in the next month or two.
that does remind me, we do have another match to discuss because I almost
Mhm.
forgot.
Yep.
They set up a Artist of Stardom championship match for Osaka, um, and it kind of ended up being a draw. They did 604 fans on the Osaka number two, which is a very good number. And in the main event of that, they did a three-way elimination Artist of Stardom championship match with the two teams who drew the number one contenders match, taking on Kid Azumi and Miyu Masaki. Surprisingly, Neo Genesis retained, which I wasn't expecting. I thought that the three-way was their way of getting the belts off of Neo Genesis, but it ended up just making for a great match. Um, a lot of the pairings that carried the Korakuen match carried here. Again, Arena, Roka Aoki, Suzu, Konami, but then you add
Suzu
in
and
Neo
Kid too.
Genesis.
I thought Suzu and
Yeah,
Kid did a lot of good
Suzu and
stuff.
Kid was great. Like you add in Neo Genesis, who are very good at what they do.
Mhm.
Stardom's house style
Mayu Iwatani as well.
fits having 9 women just in a crazy rule set, elimination and over the top rope and all that kind of shit. Because it's,
Yeah.
as I keep saying, it's athleticism. This house style, this company is very athletic, very spot focused. Just get 9 people in there and they're gonna have a great match. Like that's how this house style is. I think more matches like this where they just say, "Hey, we're just gonna throw a bunch of people together and let them rock." I think that's something they could do a lot more of, because I think this worked and it's something you can replicate again. Like 3 trios going in there for an elimination match, just let them, tear the house down. And so I thought this was a great Artist of Stardom title match. Another one for Neo Genesis. Miyu Masaki was very, very good down the stretch with Rocca. Like they did
Like
very
that.
effective hate cheating. Like they made it look like Rocca was going to cheat and get the belts, and Mew just like barely got, was it her hand on the rope or something, or her leg on the rope? But like she just barely got out
Grand,
of it
yeah.
and then turned it around. And that was a very, very good finish, and kind of one of the better things of hate, of where it's like the crowd is like, "Ah, no, they're gonna do it," and then Mia was like, "No," and she turned it around and got the win with the roll up, and I thought that was a very effective finish to a very good match. Well, I would say a great match. I would say watch it.
Yeah,
Okay.
I would say a damn near great match, if you will.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, I really liked it. I think that's like these two. Obviously, I've had my criticisms of the two singles title matches since the big Queendom show, but I think this was kind of like what I want from Stardom.
Yeah.
In this, which is very funny because we stop watching house shows and they're like, "You're gonna get the best match since Queendom on a house show, fucker." I was like, you know what? Shit, you got me there. Um, but yeah, I mean, this is what I want from Stardom a lot of the time is this sort of stuff because you get a lot of what makes Stardom great. Like I think Ruaka is a truly underappreciated wrestler in Stardom. I think she gets her role very well, and in these sorts of matches, she really gets to shine against Aoki and against Miyu Amasaki, and even a little bit against Azumi as well. Like I think that's what you want, and I love Miyu Amasaki. Obviously, I'm always singing her praises, always asking for more Miyu Amasaki doing stuff in my life, and I really liked it. So I loved this match. Thought it was definitely the best I've seen from Stardom since Queendom, and I was very happy to go out of my way to watch it. I also
Mhm.
watched Yuri Hime versus Mei Seira because I like both of them, and they did good as well. So
Yeah.
I was happy with that too. Um, Neo Genesis and Vida Loca are just like the most interesting factions. So I'm happy
Yeah,
that this
I
is
really
like
like
what we're
Vida
doing.
Loca. Yeah, they're pretty good. And they after the match kind of set up, Suzu was like, "Listen, man, you guys won. I don't really care. I want Starlight Kid's belt. Let's do a unit match like us four against you four." They didn't get to decide anything because Konami got on the microphone and ruined it. That's a joke, by the way. I'm being facetious. But Konami was like, "Hey, you guys are chatting a lot of shit. We're gonna get the artist belt." But Suzu was very much like, "Let's do a unit battle. I want the white belt." So I wonder if that Korakuen early next month will be a 4-on-4 Neo Genesis versus Mi Vida Loca, and when Suzu wins, she challenges Kid for the conversion because that seems like the most natural progression of things. Unless they do the unit battle at the conversion, but I don't know why they would do that unless they put the belt on the line in the 4-on-4, which they might. But
Bro, we doing McMahon Helmsley's versus fucking who did they face? The Rock, Taker and Kane, where it's a world title match in a 3-on-3.
that would
Do you
be
remember what I'm
very
talking
cool.
about?
Yes, vaguely.
Yeah, yeah.
I
I'm
wouldn't
not
put it
even old. I
past.
just remember shit.
Yeah. No, I mean, I wouldn't put it past them, but I do think they'll do the unit battle at the Cork and instead, and then Suzu versus Kid at the conversion, because that
That would
seems to
be
be where we're
ideal.
going.
I
Um,
could see Suzu winning that too.
oh yeah,
She
for sure.
probably
I think
should.
she's the most logical person left
Yeah.
to that could challenge
Come to
Kid.
think about it, they kind of screwed Kid with this wipeout run. I forgot about the Konami match too. I did not like that either.
That's true. I think this is the white belt now. It's going to be a lot of shorter reigns. I think she got her
I think
5
that's for the
months,
best.
and that's it.
Like I think that's fine. I've always I've never really got why workhorse fuck
Wow.
workhorse titles have long reigns. Like that doesn't make sense. Like if you're working more, you should be more susceptible to losing.
Yeah.
Not everybody can't be fucking god and you know, win title matches every other week for 9 months. Like you shouldn't do that all the time.
Yeah.
Uh, so I like more white belt defenses and more champions. I think that works.
That's fair. We do have a show to preview then. Natsu and
Mm.
Saori are here. They're here. 10th anniversary, Our Footprints on May 31st in Ota Ward Gymnasium. We have a beginning tag match. We are the original members. Aina Aiba and Maika Ozaki take on Tei Hanma and Yuna Manase with, I believe this is where now Kakuta is the special referee, but it doesn't say it
Yes,
on the card.
it is.
I have no idea what's going to happen there. Aina Aiba isn't a wrestler, so God knows.
Yeah,
Tai
she
Hanma is
retired
retiring,
like one
so
match in.
maybe Ozaki over Tai Hanma, because isn't Tai Hanma retired like November or
Yes,
something?
Tai Hanma is
Yeah,
retiring.
so maybe Ozaki over Tai. Or Yuna Manase wins because she was training.
Yeah, yeah.
Training?
Maybe
Yeah.
I think it might be Unamanase.
One of
I
the
don't think.
actual
I don't know.
wrestlers will win. That is
Yeah.
very hot.
Well,
One of the
yeah.
actual wrestlers is winning, not the retired one.
Maybe. Who knows?
Yeah, maybe. Who knows? It's beginning. Um, Master and Disciple tag match. Female wrestling of the heart and soul. Yumiko Hoda and Miku Kanai versus Kaori Ito and Rian. That might be Kaori Ito over Kanai because Kanai takes all the falls, basically.
Well, no. I mean, Rian takes more falls.
I think T Hearts is lower in the totem pole than Stardom, so probably is Kanai.
I don't think they're lower on the totem pole than Rian.
I would disagree, but who knows? Maybe. Either I mean, look, one of the children is losing.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
all we need.
I forgot this
Special
crazy
single,
ass match is happening.
yeah, trial battle: Mayumi Ozaki versus Sayaka Kurara. Crazy. I mean, Ozaki is going to win. She doesn't lose a lot. I am iffy on the quality because, as I said when this was announced, I think Ozaki has been slightly exposed since not having run-ins and interferences a lot. Like she just gets gassed pretty easily,
Would
which
be
is
mad
fair.
funny if
Get it at her
Soriano
age.
was like, you know what, I'm locking it with with Mayu Iwatani one
She
more
might.
time.
I think
Oh,
that
that
would
would be
help
great.
the match a lot. But like Ozaki on her own, I don't think has the legs to do a match. So unless this is a short brawl, I think it could end up under delivering because Ozaki won't be able to keep it going. And then she's gonna win. So that's
I
that.
don't know. I've liked what I've seen from Ozaki. Like I haven't hated what I've seen from Ozaki, I should say.
I don't know. I don't
It's
think she has the stamina for it, which is totally fair. She's like 60. It is what it is.
yes,
But
it's true.
special singles match 2, a present from us. Yuna Mizumori versus Saki. That's kind of meant to be your colors representative match.
Yeah, it's Tropical Wild.
Yes. And Saki's gonna
Well, not
win.
colors. She wasn't in
Is it
colors.
not colors? No, I thought it was colors. But anyway.
Yuna
Saki
wasn't in
wasn't in
colors.
colors, really? Oh, Yuna wasn't in colors.
Saki leads.
Yuna
What?
isn't an actress, girl. Oh my god, I forgot. I
Yuna's Choco
totally,
Pro
completely forgot. That's
or Gato
it just
Move
didn't compute because she was wrestling an actress, wasn't she?
once in a while.
Yeah, I think she was in the tag
I'm
team.
looking at her cage match. Looking at her cage match. She was in Actress Girls to defend the Gato Move titles.
Oh,
That's pretty much it.
yeah, okay. Anyway, yeah, Yuna Mizumori is going to lose because Saki is a veteran and has won world championships and is protected. And this might be good. I haven't seen a good Saki match in a long time, but I
But they
don't watch
are
many
former
Saki
tag
matches anymore.
partners, so I expect them to kind of try. I expect Saki to try to
Hopefully.
try. Yeah.
Special singles match 3, the strongest battle, Aya Sakura versus Sari. This is everything we could want. This is going to be the standard Sari, like beats up a rookie and doesn't do any of her big shit, but it's good because she's Sari. Kind of like that Eureka Oka match from like February, is it? Or was that last year? Might have been
It might
last
have been
year.
last year.
But like she just had like a 6, 7 out of 10 stroll with Eureka Oka where she just mauled her. And I think it's going to be the same here where she just kind of has a good match, but not like her highest end stuff. Because you don't need to, because you save that. But
Yeah. No.
Sakura is obviously going to try and maul her back, so that's kind of where the joy is.
Huh? That's you said different name. Oh, Sakura. Um. Yeah. No. This is also kind of a preview to the Shuri match too at the conversion.
Yes,
So
that it is.
yeah, it'll be interesting. I'm excited for that match. It should be fun. It's a Scott E classic. So
It is. Yeah. I hope he enjoys. Then we have the 10Q Rumble. The Reason I Exist Now. Sunoko Kato. Shin Sakura Hirota. Akino. Ninja Ranmaru. Ryo
Jesus
Mizunami.
Christ.
Hiroyo Matsumoto. Kakeru Sakaguchi. Rina Amakura. Yuko
Ooh.
Sakurai. And
Ooh.
Suzu Suzuki in a battle
Yeah.
royal. If you've never seen Ninja
This is
Ranmaru,
Wave.
if you've never seen
This is
Ninja
just Wave like
Ranmaru,
3 years ago.
you're in for the good stuff. If you've never seen Sakura Hirota, change that, you heathens. This is gonna be so fun. Ranmaru and Hirota doing bits might end the
Wait,
world. So
oh, okay. This isn't in order because I was gonna say what the fuck is that main event? That's not the main event.
it might be. Who knows? Um. Anyway, I don't know who's
If
winning
the
the battle
titles are on
royal.
the
Who
line.
cares? It's gonna be funny. Special tag match: 10 Years of Footprints. Natsupoi and Soriano versus Chiro Hashimoto and Mika Iwata. This is a great match. I suspect Poi might lose to Hashimoto. Because that's kind of a thing they've got going on. Or
To be fair,
Ano will just pin Iwata because
yeah, I was gonna
that's
say
the thing they've got
Mako
going on.
Mako being back in full control of Senda Girls means Mika is never winning again.
That's true. But I also think Hashimoto and Poi love working
Yeah,
together, so
yeah.
they might
No, I agree.
make that the closer. So either way, that would be fun. That's a very interesting match. I
But
wonder
also,
if
it's
that
their show.
sets
I
up a
feel like
conversion thing.
I feel like it's easy to just have Natsupoi and
That's true.
Saori.
Is there a world where Ano beats Iwata and then challenges Kamitani? Because they presumably need a red belt match for the conversion, and
You would
I
think,
don't,
yeah.
I don't really know who else would
It might
challenge
be Natsupoi.
unless it's Saida.
I think Natsupoi is more likely to
Like maybe
challenge still.
Saida main events and then she challenges because they did a lot of Ida Kamitani at the Corkin. That would be
That would be
awesome.
cool.
Let's do it. Let's just do it. Fuck it. Throw the rule book out the window. The main event tag match. We are Stardom. Starlight Kid and Azumi versus Hanan and Saya Ida. That could be excellent. And I think there's definitely a world where Wingori win and one of them, Saya Ida, hopefully challenges Sayaka Iwatani.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised it's not a title match.
I think it's because this is in the Stardom show, technically, so they're more like, we're going to represent Stardom on the big stage with 4 of our young standouts, kind of thing. Well, is Saya Ida young? I can't remember, but anyway, she's a standout. She's cool.
Yeah, she's young enough. Let's be frank.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure. That'll be fun though. That'll be a good
Oh, yeah.
match. Start
Hanan
on
Kid
rules.
minutes. Let's go.
That too. Yeah, we'll see. This could also. Yeah, actually, it's so weird that we don't know what Sayaka Iwatani's doing. Like I'm just realizing that it's like well, Kid and Suzu's probably happening, so that's not what's happening here.
No.
But yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm excited for the match for sure. Shouldn't main event over Tom and Jerry over there. Just saying. But it will be a very, very good match, and I'm excited for it.
All right.
Maybe Tom and Jerry challenge for the tags.
Possibly. But then literally you have no challenges for Sayaka Iwatani.
Correct.
Like the Momo Watanabe is still injured, so you can't even do that.
Oh yeah,
thing
that's
people
another
were
that's
teasing.
another talking point that I didn't bring up. I realized that like no Momo has really shot me. Like
Yeah,
it's really
she's our
slowed
last
my stardom.
attachment to like the prime
Yeah,
Stardom
it's
days.
really like I think with her being in the Battle Royal at Queendom in the pre-show and then being hurt since then, like I think among just like post like the fallout from Queendom, I think that not having Momo for this fallout is really rough. Like it's like
Yeah.
just on my personal like finding something to grab onto. No Momo is really hard, and I'm hoping that she's recovering well. I miss her. But
Alright.
yeah, so maybe not a Tom and Jerry title run.
No,
Maybe
unless they're doing something out of left field for Kamatani, but they haven't shown
they
their
usually
hand
doing
if
that.
it is. They do, but I wouldn't know what it was.
We'll see.
I had to
Yeah, that
sneeze,
sounds like a
but I
good show.
couldn't sneeze. Sorry.
So you
I
just
was like, it's coming, it's here, and then it didn't. So that was very disappointing. But anyway, that is the show. We've been doing this for way too long, and we have to do this again next week. So before I have to sneeze again, we will be back next week. We'll review the story Natsupoi show, and we will preview New Blood and the Korakuen if stuff is announced. We'll obviously review the Marigold house shows because that's what we do now. And we'll preview the Shinjuku Face Marigold show, which will presumably have a big match, if not 2 big matches, we hope. So, fun times next week. More fun than this, where we have a bit of speed running for half of it. But, you know, the game is the game sometimes.
Yeah, game is undeniably game.
And do you have any closing remarks, or can I free us from this hell?
Red eye, just keep my heart in secrecy with.
I don't know what you're doing.
I was singing a. Never mind. It's okay.
Okay.
I thought that. Wait, no. I think that's a different song. Yeah,
I'm just closing the show before you lose your
Mm.
mind. If you want to stand, you may stand. If you want to sit, you may sit. Believe today, shine tomorrow. You decide what you believe in.
Shine forever, Stardom Quest Gold Passion.
Final passion.
We're still saying passion. I don't give a fuck. I'm keeping that. We're keeping that forever, baby. It's passion forever. We follow them commandments, baby. That's what it's all about. Passion.
All right.
Ijo.
Goodbye, passion forever.